All right, we are live. Now it is JPIA TV The Live, Episode 3. I am back. I am EMIYA STARlock with my friend here, Mr. the Rick Dom.
Hello.
All right, we actually have a very loaded episode today. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I don't even know where to begin. We got a lot of stuff shown over the past couple of weeks, and we'll try to go over it as best as we can. I guess first off, we will start with all the Tamashii stuff. I mean, right now, Tamashii Features event is going on in Japan. A lot of reveals, and also a lot of items have been unveiled in the past week or so. A lot of new items have been unveiled. So we'll quick as best as we can, go through it, give our thoughts, what we think. Rick, now, would you like to start? What do you think we should cover first?
Let's go with probably the biggest stuff first. Suicide Squad, WWE. It's what people are talking about most right now.
All right. Yeah. For all the Western fans, WWE and Suicide Squad are probably the two biggest things that are being shown right now. As you can see on my screen right now, Suicide Squad. In an earlier interview, we spoke with Adam, and Adam talked about that we had some DC stuff that was going to be unveiled at SDCC. But obviously, Japan, always likes to be the center of the reveal. So it seems like they've already kind of revealed one of the things that they were speaking of before. And it looks pretty good. It's obviously using the digital coloring. But Rick Dom, please share your thoughts and what people are thinking about the Suicide Squad figure so far. Rick Dom? Rick Dom, you're cutting off. You're cutting off a lot.
The figures for Harley, and
Rick, you're cutting off a lot. You're cutting off a lot. Here, you're cutting off a lot. Having some technical difficulties. Please bear with us for a moment. Rick. Rick! Alright, well, it looks like Rick Dom will, he's gonna come back, but, so far, it looks like they have shown us Joker and Harley, obviously, the two ones that everybody wants to see. Those are different SHF reveals going on. Well, while he's basically waiting to come back, I'm just going to go ahead and cover some stuff that he doesn't really have much to say about. They have unveiled a Monster Hunter SHF as well. This one is the Monster Hunter Zinogre. I don't play Monster Hunter much. I know all the really popular stuff in Monster Hunter, but this particular piece is pretty interesting to say the least. Looks like it's something out of Garo, actually. That's what I thought it was when I first saw it. I was thinking, wow, I don't remember that bad guy from Garo, or whatever. But I mean, it looks very interesting. Looks like it's at pretty much a good prototype phase, and we're probably going to see final product. This looks like it's pretty much the final product. Like, it probably is these colors. So I don't play Monster Hunter, so I don't know. But it is a very interesting looking figure. You guys can see it on my screen. Yeah, I'm just lazy. I didn't bother saving the pictures. I was going to do it at first, but now I decided I was just going to do it this way. Just go use these sites. And I mean, the most important is we're not really talking about the news anyway. We're mostly just kind of discussing the news. So you guys can get a good look. It looks pretty cool. Looks like something out of Garo. Has a very EMIYA vibe to it, I think. And these are the SHF, the other SHF review from the anime series Active Raid. It's currently airing right now. You can see they're pretty much doing pretty much the entire team. Pretty interesting looking figures. Cool design. I mean, the show itself is okay. I don't think it's an incredible show. It's kind of your generic kind of you know, mech suit show, but the designs are definitely very interesting. Definitely looks very much like something, you know, Bandai would love to do in an SHF line, which is why they're doing it. So, and we'll wait for Rick Dunn to come back to talk about this stuff. And I'll go through the Kamen Rider Ghost Grateful Damashi. I think, as far as we know, pretty much the ultimate form of Ghost. Although there'll probably be an upgrade version of this one in a movie or something at some point. But I think this is the ultimate version.
Hello.
Welcome back, Rick Dom.
Thank you. I'm on my computer. I'm on my phone until my computer boots back up. It chose the worst time to freeze up.
So we'll go back to this Kamen Rider stuff, but we'll let Rick Dom talk about these Suicide Squad figures. You see right here, we have Joker from Suicide Squad. So tell us about these Suicide Squad figures and, you know, what people think of them so far.
People really love that that Harley Quinn. They're going crazy for it. You know, they can't believe how great it looks. And I mean, yeah, it looks really great. You know, the digital sculpting and then the painting. It's just it's fantastic. It seems like a lot of people go the way that I go with the Joker, and that they don't really care about the design, so it's hard for them to care about that figure. But it seems like, you know, people really like them as a whole. You know, I mean, the Bubblicious guns are kind of a turnoff for a lot of people, you know, including myself. But man, everybody's going crazy for that Harley. Yeah, they're nuts. You know, they look great. I mean, even the Joker, you know, as much as I don't like the design, it does look really good. But that Harley Quinn, man, it's unreal. The proportions, the head sculpt, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the likenesses look really good, especially when you know it's 1/12 scale. It looks really, really good. They definitely really did a great job on the scanning and the digital coloring this time. I'm not particularly a big fan necessarily of these versions, but they do look really good. This Harley and this Joker do look really good. I mean, I know some people, like you said, a lot of people don't like the pink guns and stuff like that, but you know, I mean, it seems like it fits. It looks like it's supposed to fit that character, having kind of this, you know, kind of over the top, you know, lavish kind of thing to them. So, but yeah, they do look really good. I'm curious, if this is going to be it or they're going to do more. I mean, these are obviously the two safest characters. Obviously, you could do Batman as well. You know, he's not a featured character necessarily in the movie, like a main character.
It seems like he is a main character.
Oh, he is a main character? I don't know. I haven't really been reading up on much of the Suicide Squad movie, so. But if he is indeed a main character, oh, Rick Dom left us again. But if he is indeed a main character, then it's very likely that they'll probably also do a figure of Batman as well. It just seems to be the safe thing to do. So. Rick, are you there? Rick!
Yeah, sorry, I was just switching from my phone to the computer.
Okay.
Computer.
So anything else you love to share about these Suicide Squad figures before you move on to the next thing? Rick?
About the Suicide ones?
Yeah, is there anything else you'd like to share about the Suicide Squad figures before we move on to the next thing?
No, they look great. You know, a lot of people really happy with the Harley. You know, the design for Joker is not a well-loved one, so it's not, people aren't going crazy for that one. But as a whole, you know, people for sure.
All right.
Can come from them, so.
All right. Moving on, I guess we'll just go through this stuff real quick. We've seen Akane before, and this is her again. Looks like her prototype has been tweaked even further. Little things like just looks better overall. Looks like some things have been tweaked. I can't exactly go into exactly what was tweaked, but definitely some things have been tweaked. As you can see, Pichon still comes with her. I'm not sure who we're going to get after this, but hopefully we'll start seeing something soon. What are your thoughts right now?
Yeah, she looks good. She does look different. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping, but particularly the arms look different.
Yeah, I haven't seen the other prototype in a while, but it does look different. The older prototype, we can probably just pull it up right now, actually. Forgot that, it doesn't really matter.
I don't know why I imagined that the first one had, like, much thinner arms. I don't know. Maybe I'm completely wrong.
Maybe it's exactly the same and we're just remembering wrong. That's a possibility as well.
Yeah, maybe it is exactly the same, yeah.
Here. And so these are, I think this is an earlier photo. Yeah, it looks like it has been slightly tweaked. Yeah.
The dress looks different. The dress looks a bit different. Looks more shaped.
Oh, this one also, you can see the cracking of the paint on the joint. So obviously this is a different figure than the one that's shown here. Yeah, they are different figures. It doesn't look like this one. Looks like this one's closer to the final production than this one is. You can also see the looks like some gunk holding the hand there. Maybe. Oh no, that's a joint. That's a joint. Yeah, and looks pretty good. I'm curious if she'll come with the long hair option as well. Probably. We'll just have to wait and see.
You'd imagine so.
Yeah, it's easy enough to do. Or maybe if the line becomes really popular, they might actually use it as a chance to sell her again as an exclusive or something.
Easy reason to double dip.
Yeah. Although I don't know if Akane would be the character you would do that with. But hey, you know what? Who knows? As you see her shampoo, she's already up for pre-order. Most figures we've seen. These are actually new reveals, actually. This is all the Pretty Cure stuff.
Man, if those Pretty Cure figures are anything like the Love Live ones, then they're a disappointment.
They actually look pretty good. I mean, looking at these pictures, they look pretty good, to be honest. I honestly do think they look pretty good. It looks like this series is heading into the Tamashi Web territory.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, they're going pretty deep with the Bakugan series, though. I mean, definitely.
Yeah, they're making a lot of them.
Yeah. So, yeah, these are all reveals. They look pretty good right here. Not too bad. The SHF line has always been kind of weaker when it came to certain types of anime figures, particularly the more moe variety. So yeah. It's always nice to see them doing more, stuff. So I was going through these earlier. More pictures. I think it's the same exact pictures. Oh, it's good. It's a good scan. Good digital coloring. It looks good. So tell us about these WWE figures.
Oh man, as a lot of people have posted online, there's been hints of this coming, and actually seeing it is crazy. It definitely feels as if, what you'd imagine, that Bandai isn't stupid, and that they're definitely, whoever is working on this stuff or even working on the display, must be big wrestling fans to know to put a blue background in front of the Rock. In back of the Rock, and then a red background and behind Stone Cold, for the brand split. They look really good so far. I hope they come with more heads. Somebody was making the point of it's interesting that the Rock, his arm has the shoulder pads kind of sculpted and painted on, because a signature move of the Rock that he does almost every single match ever is that when he's like getting serious and doing his special move, he rips off one of his elbow pads. So people are wondering, is he going to come with an interchangeable arm, because that's a pretty pretty important thing for The Rock to be able to take off his shoulder pad. That's pretty big. It looks good. I know a lot of people also wondering, if we're gonna get a ring, if we're gonna get an entrance piece, who knows? But a lot of people are excited for these, man. That Rock is really nice, and now we get to the Stone Cold. Man, that Stone Cold is sick. Really nice and bulky. Looks really fucking mean. Good friend of ours, Johnny, was bringing up the point if he wondered if it was gonna come with beer. That'd be awesome. Came with some beer accessories. This is more obviously an adult collected line, so it's not like at Target where you can't include beer with Stone Cold or it's gonna be sold at Walmart or anything. It would be really cool to see that. I know somebody pointed out as well an interesting point, although it's not pictured here from what EMIYA is showing. That Rock is listed as figure number 1, and Stone Cold is actually listed as figure number 4. So there's actually 2 figures in between that are not being shown.
Is that what it says on the name tags? Figure number 1.
Yes.
Figure number
Yes. It says that on the name tags. Yes. There's a picture of it. It's not here, but there's a picture of it, and I know Bluefin posted, saying like, who do you guys want to see next? John Cena, Undertaker. Everybody just kind of assuming that those 2 are in between The Rock and Stone Cold.
The likenesses seem pretty good. I don't follow.
The likeness is good. It's better. It's better.
Do look pretty good.
The Rock, that Rock is definitely the best Rock head sculpt, beating out Mattel. I don't think that Stone Cold is as good as Mattel's Stone Cold's head, but it could get tweaked, and there could
it'll probably be tweaked as it goes on. I mean,
but Mattel is actually.
If you guys aren't happy with the likeness, definitely go on Bluefin's page. And if Bluefin actually announced it, then that means these are actually coming to the U.S. as well.
They acknowledged them, yeah. They
acknowledge it. That means these are definitely coming to the U.S. And one of the interesting things about it, I don't follow wrestling at all, but is that obviously one of the things that's been very prevalent recently with the Japanese company, particularly Bandai, for example, they really started to take the U.S. market a lot more seriously. I mean, when I look at these, I just really think U.S. market. I mean, while wrestling is pretty popular in Japan, I just don't know how much of a market there is for these guys in Japan. Granted, again, I don't follow wrestling, so obviously these will be available in Japan in some way, in some fashion, of course. Bandai always takes care of the Japanese market at the end of the day. Even if something is exclusive, is quote made for here, not exclusive, made for here, it's still available there. So I'm curious if these are going to be web shop exclusives or they're going to be, regular release in Japan. I'm assuming doesn't matter for the U.S. because obviously there'll be regular releases in the U.S. Then the likenesses seem pretty good. Again, they're using the digital coloring and digital scanning.
The Rock is definitely the best 1/12 scale Rock we've ever had. I mean, Mattel stuff is like fucking 7 inches tall, so that's not 1/12. But you know what I mean. That Rock is definitely the best Rock head sculpt so far. That Stone Cold needs a little bit of work, but it's very, very close. Very, very close. Be interesting to see if they have interchangeable heads. I really hope so. I really hope so. They look really great. Definitely, have learned the ropes of doing wrestling figures with the Kaneko Man stuff. That's doing great. And if they go that path, with the articulation and stuff like that, then we're gonna be golden.
Yeah, they definitely look good. And again, it's something that has been kind of teased for a while by the people at the Tamashi Nations. So
yeah, and it would be very cool. It's gonna have to be much like I don't know how deep this line is.
I'm curious if there's actually the other 2 figures, number 2 and 3, are actually at the show. They probably are.
Just not being allowed to be photographed.
Yeah, you can't photograph them. But if history serves itself well, we will probably see some sneaked photos at some point.
Yeah. It's being perfectly honest with myself, as much as I love this coming and how fucking awesome this is and how crazy everybody in the toy community is going for it. It is very hard for me to imagine this going super, super deep. I mean, I hope it is that popular. I dream of it actually being popular enough to where this fucking keeps going. No problem, because I would love to see Bandai do the Japanese wrestlers. They're both really popular right now. They're two of the biggest people right now. One of them is the champion, Asuka. She's incredibly popular, and she fights in such a crazy and unique style, very Japanese, very female, strong style. And we have Shinsuke Nakamura, and Shinsuke is really, really incredible. His first match is considered, one of the greatest matches of all time at this point, ever in wrestling right now. His first ever match in WWE is highly regarded as probably one of the greatest matches of all time. Incredible wrestler. And I really, really hope that this line is popular enough, it gets deep enough to where we get those Japanese wrestlers done by Bandai too. It would be really special. It'd be really cool.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully that's what's going to happen. I'm assuming, the line should do very well here. So,
oh yeah.
I find it odd though. Looking at it now, that the fact that they're doing these, I almost kind of wonder. Obviously, Bandai doing the Kinnikuman series, I almost kind of wonder if this was obviously done in a way where it was planned for a while. The Kinnikuman series might have been kind of a way of them practicing. I mean, Kinnikuman is a big license in Japan. It's not a very big license necessarily internationally, but it's a big license in Japan. Although, the reason while I say that, it's kind of odd because it doesn't look like these figures have it looks like they're kind of favoring the more showcasing, I guess. It looks like they have pretty I mean, I don't know if these are the same bodies they're using, but it looks like they're going for more their realistic body look. So they don't have as many joints as the Kinnikuman figures. I mean, they probably have the same amount of range, but I don't see like some of the joints that the Kinnikuman figures have. So
yeah, I kind of always wondered the same thing. But I didn't want to imply that and give too much importance to this WWE line.
Yeah,
but I did wonder, like, was this Kinnikuman stuff like, hey, everything we do wrong or anything we do right with Kinnikuman we implement into
it's using the same ring corner that the Kinnikuman figures use. So yeah. I mean, obviously they were doing this ring corner not just for Kinnikuman. They're obviously planning it for other things as well. And looks like
And I mean, at the end of the day, whether not that many people collect this or not, this is a huge property. This is on the level of the big films and stuff like that. This is one of the biggest, longest running. I think it is currently the longest running TV show of all time. And it's fucking huge. The market for wrestling is huge. So it's incredible. It's awesome to see. We've been teased for a while, but to actually see it is very awesome. Looks it's awesome, man. I cannot wait to see where this goes.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely giving a lot of range for a Tamashii brand. Outside of, generally when you think of Bandai, you think anime figures and Kamen Rider and stuff like that, but they're definitely trying to go in a direction where they're known for many different things and not just those things that they're normally known for. So it's always great when a company does that.
And it was perfect timing. I'm sure, like, if we had somebody like Michael here or anybody else in the wrestling figure community, they could tell you that it is very, like, this isn't a coincidence, because right now, more so than ever, wrestling figures are really, really popular. Like, more than ever before. I don't know why. I don't understand why. It's not like the product that's on television is particularly incredible right now. It's actually, kind of sour a little bit right now, but the figures themselves are really popular. These things fly off the shelves now. Obviously when they're not they do the same thing as Hasbro. They have your standard characters. They always put out every fucking wave. Your John Cena's, your fucking, your Roman Reigns, your Brock Lesnar's. They have those big names that are always in waves. But they're really popular right now. I don't understand myself why right now in particular it's so popular. There's nothing that should make it that popular right now. Like, it's not like everything is is really incredible right now in the TV, or like the figures are that different, because they're not. They're the same product they've had for many years now, but they're really booming right now, and it's the perfect time. You know, wrestling right now is the merchandise is as big as it's ever been, so this is the perfect time for Bandai to jump in. This is when the collectors are at their hottest right now with this stuff. So it's very, very smart, you know, and they could spark something crazy with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's definitely good that this is something that is a step in the right direction for Bandai. So.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, anything else? Any closing thoughts you have about this wrestling stuff?
It's fucking awesome. I cannot wait to see more. Hopefully, you know, Comic-Con, they show.
Yeah, I think considering we got some reveals at a Japanese show, I'm definitely considering these figures are definitely probably really about the U.S. I think.
Yeah,
and for sure.
It definitely so far seems like number 2 and number 3 are John Cena and Undertaker. And it'll be interesting to see what Undertaker it is. So, you know, yeah, a lot of cool stuff, you know. Can't wait.
All right. Moving on to the next thing. As I said, we have Grateful Damashi. This is web exclusive, of course. It's like one of the transient forms of Ghost.
I know a lot of people are really excited about this one.
It's the transient form, but then with all the stuff attached to it. So I guess it's kind of like a super form in its own way. So
yeah, this I don't know Ghost whatsoever, but this figure in particular has been popping up on my timeline like crazy.
Yeah. So this is like currently like the ultimate form. There will probably be another one because I'm not sure. Usually, yeah, like I said, they usually will do something after. So we have Gatak Extender. We knew it was coming just because again we have Gatak already. Gatak is a web shop exclusive. But oddly enough, it looks like this is the crazy thing. Gatak, web shop exclusive, his fucking bike, regular release. There's no marking for
what the hell?
Web shop. This is crazy. But who knows? Maybe it's just a mistake. And I'm just gonna assume maybe he forgot to print it on. But if you look at the tag right here, it does not say Tamashi web shop exclusive. While this figure, the guy who's supposed to ride it, that figure is actually a web shop exclusive. So I don't know what Bandai. I mean, he shouldn't have been exclusive to begin with, but. Yeah, this is definitely reaching odd levels. Someone is not talking to someone. You know, guys are not exchanging notes enough in the office at the Tamashi Nation's headquarters. So, anyway, moving on. We finally see.
And
go on.
I really do hope that the bike is regular release and the figure's exclusive. That would just be hilarious. I really hope that's actually what's happening.
Someone didn't get the memo. You know. Anyways, any thoughts on these two things, Rick Tom? I know you don't watch Kamen Rider, but you think they're.
I don't know. I don't know Ghost, but I know a lot of people are excited for that one. Gatak, although I've never watched Kabuto, has always been stylistically like a really cool Kamen Rider that I liked. You know, so very very cool stuff.
Yeah, Gatak is technically kind of like he's kind of like the. I would even say he's even more than a secondary rider in the Kabuto series. Kabuto's the main character, but this guy is very close behind him. The story is about their friendship in many ways. So, in many ways, he's kind of like Ryu and Ken, that kind of thing, So,
yeah.
So finally, we'll also get we've been seeing Trideron for a while, but it looks like we're finally getting more stuff on the figure. Information about release date, things like that. Actually, it doesn't look like there's a release date on here. No, there's no release date yet. But we'll probably get a release date soon. This figure will more than likely be a regular release, if anything, because Go Drive, which is technically the main villain of the series, is a regular release. So this is the one that kind of fights Go Drive, so you kind of have to have the verses. So they will both be regular releases, safe to say. Rick Don, what do you think of Drive, Trideron form. Oh, it's pretty much the ultimate form of Drive.
You know, the Drive stuff has always actually been really interesting looking. I don't know how. I don't. Obviously, you know, like I said, I don't watch Kamen Rider just because it's not easy to find streams of it. But the designs have always been really, really cool looking. Really, really nice.
Cool. And we're also getting Zero Drive as well. Again, this one's a web shop exclusive and deservingly so because essentially just a black recolor. We're also getting figure arts of the current, more adult hyper action series. You know,
the
Amazons. Amazons is a Kamen Rider show right now that's airing at the it's an Amazon. Oddly enough, Amazons is an Amazon exclusive for Amazon Prime members in Japan. This series is aimed more towards adults. There's a lot of killing, a lot of more blood, more adult situations. It's something more on the lines of something like Garo. There's a lot more violence. You know, people get killed on screen, you know, in a clear way, not in the background. And these are the SH figure arts of the two main riders of the series. We have Amazon, Kamen Rider Amazon Alpha and Amazon Omega. Amazon Alpha is the red one. He's kind of like the more hardcore, more seasoned veteran, kind of the anti-hero of the series. And we have, I guess, the guy who just became, he's kind of like, I guess, he's a protagonist. They're both protagonists, but I guess Omega is kind of the one who it's kind of told through. It's kind of like the beginning of his story. And he's the more optimistic, more heroic one versus, you know, in contrast to the more anti-hero of Alpha. And we also have his bike as well. Jungle Lighter, which is the bike for Omega. And looks like all this stuff right now is regular release. Yeah, the green one has the red bike.
That's so weird.
Well, it's not that weird. Only because the original Amazon, who was also green, he had a red bike too. So I think it's more a nod to that than anything. But yeah, I guess if you didn't know, you'd think that it matches the color of the red one more. I mean,
yeah,
it matches the color. They'll probably you know, show some other stuff soon. But it looks like all three of these things are regular release. So. It would be good if they are. It would be funny if they starting back up the Amazon exclusives again. And these are all Amazon exclusive. I don't think they will be. Hopefully not. But it's a good look at them. They're nice looking. Like I said, more darker series. Although the riders themselves don't look any darker or anything. What do you think of these, Rick? Now?
They're very cool. Really, really nice paint jobs. Yeah, look awesome.
Yeah, definitely very cool. And just last night, actually, Kamen Rider Cyclone Joker, Kamen Rider Double Cyclone Joker went up for order. The Shinkocho Seiho series, which is the renewal series of Kamen Rider. It's kind of like the premiere series that's covering basically the first generation of Heisei riders. Basically. Well, now that's doing double, it's kind of touching the second generation as well. But, yeah. It looks a lot better than the old one.
Oh, yeah.
Shinkocho Seiho series is like the premier series for Kamen Rider figures right now. They come in a really nice box. It's kind of like a Hot Toys kind of box. It's really, really cool. And the figure has what's really remarkable about this series is the fact that the figures have a really realistic body line. As you can see, the silhouette of the figure is very nice. There's no like really big gaps or anything like that. It looks like it's meant to. They do a lot of screen.
There's no big gaps, and they're not like I noticed the problem with a lot of older Kamen Rider figures, like, you know, like the original Kuga and like the original Cyclone Joker. Like, they're really thin.
Yeah,
really strangely thin.
These ones look like their on-screen counterpart. Like when they first did the Kabuto, because the Kabuto was actually the first one in the Shinkocho Seiho series.
That one
and,
you could really tell, yeah.
And when they did that one, well, first off, the original Kabuto, just like Rick Dom said, very skinny, very almost kind of these weird, not realistic proportions per se. But when they first unveiled the Shinkocho Seiho series of Kabuto, they also showed a screenshot of Kabuto, that suit actor, wearing the costume, and put it right next to the figure, placed the picture side by side, and you could see that it was really very, I mean, you still tell the figure was an action figure, but the fact that the silhouette was virtually identical, you know, with very tiny differences, you know, because at the end of the day, it's still an action figure. But it looked really good, and this is what this series is going for, that very premium, very, you know, perfect look. It's definitely a true 2.0 of all the riders they did in the early time of the SH Figure Arts. What do you think of this figure, Rick, now?
Very cool. Like I was talking about this last night with EMIYA too. I always thought the double stuff was really, really cool. I always really liked the belt as well. You know, the USB drives are always really interesting to me. You know, everybody loves, you know, the Fang Jokers too, you know?
Oh yeah, Fang Joker, very popular. Very popular.
Yeah, you know, very, very cool series. You know, nice to see these done, you know?
All right, moving on. We're getting more ghost forms.
More hoodies.
Yeah, more hoodies.
Damn, that blue one is crazy.
Yeah, this is actually the secondary. This is actually the secondary rider in the series.
The one on the bike, damn. I mean, I'm even tempted for that one. That one looks crazy.
Not really much to say about this stuff right here. I mean, this stuff we all know what's coming. I mean, Kamen Rider figures, for the most part, SH Figure Arts, while exciting that you're going to be able to add it to your collection, it's never exciting as an announcement because you know all of them are coming eventually. So it's never like, oh my god, they're doing it or anything. It's not like the WWE thing or like, you know, like when they show like, you know, the Suicide Squad, because you didn't necessarily know that those were coming. So that those are generally the more exciting news. But the Kamen Rider stuff, the SH Figure Arts, the backbone is Kamen Rider. So they're always going to do Kamen Rider. So
it's always cool to see, but it's not the surprise of the show.
Yeah, it's never a surprise because you know what's coming. You know it's coming before, you know, they do everything for Kamen Rider. So it's a deep line. All right. Now, these look cool. Rick Dom thinks they look cool. They look cool. I mean, like I said, you love Ghost. You want to get all the forms. I'm assuming some of these are actually going to be exclusive. So there's no tag next to them. But this one's a regular release. The bike was probably, I don't know, bike will probably be an exclusive. Okay, anyways, moving on. The SH Figure Arts line, Ultraman line. There's a lot of controversy around this line because essentially a lot of Ultra Act fans were feeling like this line is kind of replacing Ultra Act. And then Bandai revealed that these figures are more meant to be companions because the Ultra Act line goes for more of a superhero, more of an idealized look, while these new SH Figure Arts Ultraman line go for more screen accurate look. Like it's supposed to be, you could see like the folds and the crotch and stuff like that. It's kind of meant to be like how it looks on screen. You can see like the little creases in the costume and stuff like that. And this figure right here is Zolfi. He is an elusive, very popular Ultraman character. He never really had his own show or anything, but he's considered like one of the highest ranked Ultraman, one of the ones with like the most medals. And he's very revered in the Ultraman universe. The original figure of Zolfi from the Ultra Act line is actually a very elusive, very hard to get, kind of has a reputation of being a very expensive figure on the secondary market. So I'm kind of wondering if this figure is going to have that reputation as well. They also, you can see Bolton Zajan in the background. You can also see Zeton as well. They also showed those. Is that all the Showa era stuff? You know, fans are excited. What do you think of these Ultramen, Rick Dom?
They're pretty cool.
Do you have any love for the old school Ultraman?
I never watched it to that extent, but due to my father, I always saw a lot of Ultraman stuff around, When I was younger, it's something my dad grew up with, and Mexico is very popular. Ultraman, very popular in Mexico.
Oh yeah, especially the original Ultraman, Ultra 7.
Super fucking popular in Mexico, And I would, as a kid, have a bunch of Ultraman figures just because whenever my dad would see them anywhere, he'd just get them for me just because, he'd want his son to have what he had. So,
Oh yeah, man, that's great.
I'm not huge on Ultraman like that. Like I don't really watch anything, but it's a part of my childhood nonetheless, just from being shown it by my father.
So it definitely it's a part of it. You have a part of you, in some way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very cool, very cool. Let's move on. I guess the next subject we can touch on is the Super Robot and Metal Build Chogokin stuff. All right, well, Bandai never ceasing to amaze us with their constant recolors of Mazinger Z. We now have the Mazinger Z, Mazinga Zetto, Devilman color version. It's a Tamashii web shop exclusive, of course. Basically, it's the same exact figure, the Devilman Deco, the animated Devilman Deco. So, for the fans who love to have the Mazinger recolors, this is cool. What do you think of this, Rick? Now, are you a fan of Mazinger and Devilman?
I don't know Mazinger whatsoever. It's always something though, but
popular in Mexico though.
Yeah, man, fucking vinyls of Mazinger at like every man. If you think that China does fake toys, man, you need to go to Mexico. You need to go to Mexico, all right? Because there are fucking Mazingers that look like Goku, all right? That's how fake they get over there. You see Mazingers everywhere. I had Mazingers growing up too. I had random Mazingers growing up too. I didn't know what they were. My dad, I don't think my dad was that big into Mazinger or anything like that, but I had some Mazinger stuff. It's pretty cool looking. I know it's super popular, and Mazinger is always something that it scares me, but I want to watch it, but it's a lot of stuff's really expensive, so it's like.
I mean, you can just get into the Super Robot Chogokin line. I mean, those figures are very reasonably priced. So
yeah, very, very cool looking. I'm sure I'll get into it soon enough.
Oh, one day. I mean, there's always tons of stuff.
With something sadly like Kamen Rider, it's just not as easily accessible. But for something like Mazinger, it's more so like I just need to watch it. It's much easier to get a hold of.
Well, you can probably find it in Spanish too. So
yeah.
Anyways, we also have another Mazinger. This one is the Getter Robo color version. As you can see, he has the Getter Robo and he has a Getter Axe. Again, this is another straight recolor. As long as he has a new accessory, he has the Axe, which is a signature weapon of Getter Robo.
Jesus Christ, that's huge.
Yeah. Mostly it's pretty much the Shin Getter Axe. That's how big it is. It's a Shin Getter Axe. It's not even a regular Getter Robo Axe, it's a Shin Getter Axe. So, same deal. Tamashii web shop exclusive, which it would be. Moving on, we have the Metal Build. These figures actually are already out. The Red Astray, the flight pack for the Red Astray, the gold frame Amatsu. But what is new here is the new red option pack for the red frame. As you can see, it adds like these big ass arms and stuff.
The crazy robotic arms.
Yeah. And looks pretty cool. Definitely one of those things that if you have a red frame, you probably wouldn't mind having another one just so you can, not have to pop these on and off all the time. Yeah, the powered red option set is what it's called. So it looks pretty cool. Just these gigantic arms. The fingers are individually articulated. It's got the Metal Build series is a very highly engineered line. I mean, a lot of high development and stuff like that. It's one of Bandai's high-end lines. So definitely, you could see there's a lot of great engineering here. What do you think of this, Rick? Now?
Very crazy looking. Very cool.
Go on.
I love seeing stuff with like super crazy add-on parts and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, man.
The nature of loving robots. Seeing those crazy add-ons.
Definitely. And you see he has a gigantic, looks like gonna be a gigantic sword. Oh, it looks like just a regular sword. It just pushed the sheet up. But this looks like also gonna be a regular release as well, which almost implies that there's going to be a destined reissue of the metal build red frame Astray. So powered red option set, and the red frame will also be coming. Probably red frame will be a reissue. Powered red option set will be a regular release. Any closing thoughts on this, Rick?
Very awesome. Big arms. Buy it.
All right. Well, hopefully it doesn't sell out in 2 seconds.
Oh my god.
We are also seeing the new DX Chogokin. They showed a couple new Valkyries. They're not really new Valkyries. This is basically the rest of the Valkyrie team. We had already seen the VF-31J, the VF-31S, and now we're getting the two new ones, and we're probably going to get the other one as well because there's 5 of them. And we're going to get those. And this one is the VF-31C and E. That's the right there. Yeah, that's the F. So we've seen the F. Actually, yeah, we've seen everything. So we have the J, we have the F, we have the S, we have the C, and we have the E. That's all 5. So yeah, all 5. We haven't seen any new the Draken, the Knights yet. Only the first one. So we'll probably see some of those pretty soon. These are all going to be. They look like they're all regular releases so far, at least listed on here. Although I almost feel certain that some of these might end up being webshop exclusive. I don't know why. I just get that feeling. They don't say webshop exclusive here, but I almost don't trust it. Especially after seeing that Gatak Extender being a regular release, while Gatak is an exclusive. So we'll see what happens. But that's what we've seen so far. I mean, bear in mind, all this is basically all these pictures that we're going through right now were taken before the show opened to the public. The show actually just opened to the public maybe like an hour or 2 ago. So bear in mind, we're probably going to see more stuff that's not even covered yet. There's still some items that we haven't seen yet. That's gonna, pictures are gonna start coming out. So, anyways, moving on. Oh, what did you think of those Valkyries, Rick? What do you think of them?
They're Valking it up. More Gerwalk.
All right, moving on. We are looking at the Robot Damashi. I guess this is the Katoki corner right here. Katoki is a very famous premier designer for Gundam in Japan. He designed a lot of stuff, and he is an incredible artist. And he has his own series of stuff. One of them is the Gundam Fix Metal Composite series. He used to be the Gundam Fix. Anything that's version KA, it's all Katoki. So he has his own series called KA Signature for Robot Damashi. And yeah, and these are some of his designs right here. This is the XS Gundam. A lot of fans have been waiting for XS Gundam. This is the splitter color version.
Yeah, crazy looking.
It's going to be a sick. I mean, look at that gun. Look at that detail, those markings. Katoki loves markings, so his stuff has tons of markings on them. And these figures actually come like this. They look like this when you open the box. Right out the box, they look like this. So they're really incredible. XS Gundam is one a lot of people have been waiting for. And we've never got a robot. We never got an MSIA or anything. We've gotten model kits, but this is the first. We've gotten Gundam Fix before, but this is going to be like, this one could be much more articulated, better than the Gundam Fix one. So a lot of fans are kind of waiting. In many ways, KA Signature, in my opinion, is kind of like the Gundam Fix, the current generation. So now you can see it looks incredible. What do you think of this XS Gundam right now?
Man, that shit looks crazy. Kudos to that crazy-ass design with that crazy nice backpack. The bulkier and, crazy excessive of mech looks, the more intrigued I can be, Very, very awesome. Very awesome looking. And just thinking of, just imagining this style of figure at one point being just a model kit and having to put all that time and effort into making something that looks this complex to just getting it right out of the box like this. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, just say that for a lot of the highly engineered stuff, man. I mean, all these complex pieces and engineering. Now that you can just kind of get it right, you know, and factory makes it for you, you know. So it's crazy. Now there's moving on. There's the KA signature Zeku's Way. I might be butchering that, pronouncing it wrong. And the KA signature has been focusing a lot of these more obscure, there's that type of designs that Katoki loves to go and redesign or make his own design of, and this falls into that category. And of course, you know, you have popular designs like the XS Gundam, which are your more mainstream looking ones, and these are your more odd looking ones that he loves to do. It looks incredible.
Really nice, big and sturdy looking mech right there.
Yeah, it doesn't mention that these are going to be Tamashii Webshop exclusive, but just as a note, everything in the KA Signature line so far has been Tamashii Webshop, so it's very likely these are going to be Tamashii Webshop as well. And this is something that's already went up for pre-order. The Gundam Fix Metal Composite Unicorn Gundam. This is the final battle version with the shield funnels. It's already up for pre-order. Sold out in like 2 seconds.
Is that what those little ships are?
Yeah, they're shields, but they're shield funnels. So he controls them. I guess you could say almost kind of telepathically controls them.
So they're like telepathic, like shield drones.
Shield, and also firing. They can shoot too. They can attack for him. They can attack in other areas while he's battling. So they're kind of like assist units almost. Very common thing in Gundam. They have like you've probably seen it in Gundam Build Fighters when, you know, some of the suits can have like probes coming out and they can control the probe.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember. Obviously I don't remember what episode or anything like that. But I know like in Try, there was that one guy that was really hard to beat because he'd have the little drones out, like scoping for him and whatnot.
Oh, though not particularly like that. You know, kind of like in the first season of Gundam Build Fighters. You remember the first season of Gundam Build Fighters?
Yeah.
What was her name? The love interest of the red-haired guy.
You mean Isla?
Of Isla, yeah. Of Renji's love interest. Isla, her Quebly had the drones. They're flying probes that just shoot lasers. Well, imagine those exact same things, but these are on crack. They're like these gigantic energy generating shields with these fucking Gatling guns on them. Gatling laser guns on them. And not only can they fire and shoot, they can also form like gigantic shields and stuff like that as well. So
wow. Yeah. Isla, Reiji's girl.
Yeah. Yeah, the Reiji. So this is already up for order. So so also we have the Full Armor Gundam Mark II. Robot Tamashii.
Full armor.
KA signature. Looks really nice. Again, this one says Tamashii Webshop exclusive, so I'm almost wondering, since they actually say that about this, but then they don't say about these, so I wonder if these are actually regular release, but I almost kind of wonder there's no way this one right here can be a regular release, but we'll see what happens. But on the tag, it doesn't mention what Tamashii Webshop exclusive at all, so maybe they haven't decided yet, but likely, if they haven't decided yet, it's going to be Webshop exclusive.
Yeah.
There's the Mark II AUG version, AGP Armor Girls Project.
The Armor Girls.
Yeah, this is a web shop exclusive. Looks pretty nice. It's basically this one, but in the Moe Bishoujo form.
Except this time it's all just armor she's wearing.
Yeah. And we also have Armor Girls Project for Monster Hunter. This is called the Goa Magara Girl. Looks pretty cool. I'm not that familiar with it. I don't play Monster Hunter. I only know the most. Again, I mentioned to the audience before. I only know the most generally kind of the popular, like the dragons and stuff like that. I know what they look like. I don't even know what they're called. And some of the popular armors, I know what they look like. But this is obviously a based on one of the dragons, I'm assuming, and a girl wearing it. Is a regular release. Here's some of the Robot Damashi right here, ones that they're coming out with. Some new ones from Gundam Seed Destiny, like Destiny Impulse Gundam and, you know, Blaze Zaku Phantom, the Rei Zaburo version, custom version. What do you think of this, Rick? This Goa Magara girl? The monster.
It's really, really cool looking.
It's something that you'd buy?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this before. I actually have a good amount of Monster Hunter games. I've just never played them. I always find them at thrift stores, and I always pick them up when I see them. You know, maybe if I knew, I would, because, you know, those look pretty cool looking.
It can be yours for 12,960 yen, 8% sales tax included.
Man, let me pull out my wallet right now.
And this is the Robot Damashi corner, as I was saying before. This is a new reveal, the Blaze Zaku Phantom Rei custom version. And here's also some new reviews for the Gundam anime Robot Damashi, which is focusing on the 0079, the first Gundam series. We have GM finally, for you troop building fans out there. We can finally have, you know, you can finally have your goof destroying your GMs for fun. We're also getting the Ron Morale destroying them. We also get Ron Morale's float as well. Right here, you can kind of see it. It's kind of hard to see right there, but just see it right here. I'm curious. I'm guessing the float itself will be a regular, exclusive release, I assume. We have the Robot Damashi Barbatos option set, so you can get basically looks like Form 5 and Form 6 of Barbatos. Looks like it's for upgrading your Robot Damashi. It looks like you can also get Form 3 as well. So 3, 5, and 6, because Form 4 is the standard one. So, oh, this is actually including a goof. So maybe this is going to be regular release. Dodai-wise and goof option set version. So, oh man, time to get this one too.
And hell yeah.
Hopefully, I don't know if it's a regular. I mean, like I said, I'm not trusting it because at the end of the day, you know, it's one of those things where we don't really know because, you know, there was that Gatak extender. I'm not gonna let that go. That Gatak extender regular release and then Gatak being exclusive. You know, you still have to keep that in mind when you're looking at this. So there's an awesome one right here. Or Rick Dom for Rick Dom.
It's me.
Yep.
Hello.
There's the prototype goof.
Yeah.
Those are the goof real type version. I don't know what
those effects so sick.
Yeah. As a bazooka. And of course the Pat Labor. Robot Damashi side labor has finally been revealed. A lot of people have been wanting Pat Labor in the Robot Damashi series for a while, and finally we're getting it.
Where is that from? I saw that.
It's from the series Pat Labor. Basically, it's about these are like the police cars of the future, kind of.
Oh.
Yeah. So, imagine a world not that different than ours, but you know, people use robots to rob banks and stuff like that, and you have, you know, these cops running around in these robots trying to catch criminals, which are all also running around in robots. So, and it looks like we're getting the squad cars too. So,
squad cars.
They're called the Engram. So it looks like we're having 3 different types. This is the regular Engram. This is the other Engram. One second. Someone is talking to me. 1 second. Continue, Raquel.
Yeah. I don't know what these things are, but they look like like he said. You know, they're the police robots of the future. These look really sick.
As Rick Dom was saying, they look really sick. Go on, Rick Dom.
Yeah, saying they look really sick. I don't quite know what they remind me of exactly, but they look really cool. I remember when I first saw them, I was like, damn, where's this from? This is really sick.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, they're very cool. Like I said, fans have been wanting them for a while, and it looks like we're getting some other labors as well. Like, this is one of the bad ones.
Oh, really? That's one of the bad ones right there?
Yeah. This is the Phantom. It's the Phantom labor. It's a bad guy. And like I said, these are 3 different types right here. This is the main one. These are Engram 1, Engram 2, Engram. I think this one, I don't think this is Engram. This is Engram 3. Yeah, that's number 3 on it. So Engram 1, 2, and 3. It's like a squad. So, and like I said, they also have this little car as well. It looks like they're doing that. I don't know how it's going to be available. It doesn't look like much details yet. The Engram is going up on the next Bandai drop, though. The one right here in the front, the main one. Engram 1. So. Looks like right here, from what we can tell, looks like they're all regular releases so far, but again, don't trust it yet. Phantom looks like they're saying it's a regular release as well, but I don't know.
Oh, you sound a little robotic, by the way.
It's not robotic, so okay. You continue, and I'll be right back.
Yeah, there goes that son of a bitch, huh? This is my show now. Let's talk about the things I want to talk about. You know, like JC in the comments. Hello, Mr. JC. Oh, he's already returned. Sorry, JC, you're out of here.
Anyways, going on, we talk about Pat Labor, the Robot Damashi. Like I said, fans have been waiting for Pat Labor Robot Damashi for a while, and they're finally getting it. They look pretty good. Again, Robot Damashi is a solid line. It's not that popular in the States because it seems like those robots are kind of a niche thing here. But, yeah. Moving on. We have a new Aura Battler.
Aura Battler.
Yep. The Rosin Marvel Custom.
That's the green one?
This one, no, not that one. This one right here, flying in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
that green
that's the only new.
Fucking nuts.
And here's VFAM series. Looking I guess the other characters in VFAM. I'm not a big fan. I never really watched VFAM. I watched a few of them, so I'm never a big fan of the design of the robot when I was growing up. So I never really watched it, but maybe I should. This one's Torun Fam. I'm assuming is basically the support unit of VFAM.
Torun Fam.
Yep. All right. I covered all of that. I'm assuming Rick Down doesn't have much to say about VFAM, so...
Hey, man. When it comes to VFAM, I'm the one fam.
All right. I don't really collect any of the SDX stuff, but here's some of it right here. This is some of the ones that they show. Very
cool SD stuff, yeah.
Yep. And this is the NGX Edge series.
The Edge.
Yep.
The Edge. Frame Arms Edge.
Yeah, getting some new ones there. It's kind of popular. They're obviously still doing it, so. Here's the SIC series.
Damn, who's this big guy?
It's one of his support like mecha that he uses in the series.
Jesus
I'm curious if they're actually going to come out with it. Right now, I'm assuming it's just a prototype. This is a SIC figure. So this figure is like the 7-inch scale. So you can imagine how big this is. This is probably like 15, 16 inches tall. So
wow.
Yeah. We don't know yet, though. And obviously, they're going to be doing Drive, SIC.
Covered in flames.
Yep. That's one of his forms. One of the attacks is he goes and he uses the flames and everything. So basically, it looks like this is just the base form of Drive, and he just has like the different attachment to give him the different abilities. And they just emphasize what the abilities do by using the effects parts.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's definitely very nice. I'm curious, they're going to be look like. I'm assuming they're going to be selling. This is going to be pretty much the same figure, just going to come with these parts, or I don't know. Maybe Drive Type Speed Shadow. Oh, maybe they're going to be selling them separately. I don't know. Maybe they're going to be separate figures. In that case, all those are probably going to be. It doesn't say Tamashi Web Shop, but if they do come out, I'll assume Tamashi Web Shop. And of course, you know, Banana Arms, Baron.
Banana, Baron, Banana. Baron, Mr. Banana.
You can see Zangetsu.
His potassium is otherworldly.
These are the SIC releases. So, I mean, you know, they always do them. They're a little bit slower with the SIC stuff, but they always eventually cover all the Kamen Rider series. So, all right, moving on. We have the SH Monster Arts EVA 01 Cross Godzilla.
A thing of controversy right now.
This is called the Godzilla featuring EVA 01. It's a Tamashii web shop exclusive. It's basically the Rebirth Godzilla / Burning Godzilla mold. Looks like that's what it is. It's repainted into EVA 01 style colors. It looks like there are some mode differences. It looks like it has like these kind of scar things on it, so they kind of can paint the EVA 01 body design onto them. There is some, maybe there is, I'm not sure if these are already there or these are just printed on. They might just be printed on. But it looks pretty good if it is, because it looks like, I can't tell, maybe it's not printed on, I don't know. But you could see it has like an EVA 01 colors to him, and he's an EVA 01 theme. What do you think of this, Rick?
Man, that thing is sick.
Do you think it's something that you'd buy?
It's just tempting, you know. I love EVA, so it's very tempting. I know a lot of people hating, like,
definitely a cool novelty piece.
What the hell is the point of this? You know, yeah, it's just the cool novelty of it. If you're not a fan of EVA, you know, yeah, you're definitely not gonna like it.
Yeah, Tamashii Web just pretty much went up yesterday for order. So you're interested, you know, definitely place your order. Let Bandai know that you want to see more. Maybe we'll see a EVA 02 version as well.
Man, hell yeah.
All right, moving on. Saint Seiya. This is going to be probably pretty quick. We're pretty much getting all the obvious stuff. Continuing the Soul of Gold God Cloths for the Gold Saints. We have Taurus God Cloth right here. Of course, you know, it looks exactly how you would expect it. Very powerful, and, you know, it's the God Cloth version, so more extreme than the regular one. So far, there's no date on it. We have Libra Doko. Again, looks incredible. Looks like it has a shit ton. Even has more weapons than the regular one, it seems.
Yeah, Jesus, that's a lot of weapons.
And again, no release date yet. We have Pisces, Aphrodite, the God Cloth one, and it looks cool too. You know, obviously Bandai showing off their little Soul of Gold stands with the little like emblem in the front. Each of the figures come with the emblem to put in the base in case you buy the base. Again, no release date for this one either. Scorpio Miro, God Cloth. Again, very cool. It's a nice piece. Like I said, what you expect, just like all the other God Cloths. Not really much to say, you know, no real controversy. Again, kind of like Kamen Rider, kind of like, you know, what we talked about before. These figures are all going to come out anyway. So there's not really a crazy exciting thing when you see it. You know it's going to come. So, and you know they're going to do a great job on it for the most part, at least visually. So when you look at these figures, you know you're going to get the ones you want. So, and obviously this is one that a lot of guys have been waiting. You know, the big, you know, Gemini Saga himself. He has a cool theme of, you know, half and half. You could see there's angelic wings on one side and a demonic wings on the other.
I was just gonna say that. That's really cool.
Yeah. In the story of Saint Seiya, he has split personality. He's actually, this is a spoiler. I don't know if you're ever going to watch Saint Seiya. This is not really a spoiler, but spoiler because you've never seen it. You find out he's the main bad guy of the series. So, yeah. So, you know, he's a great, very popular character. Arguably, definitely one of the most popular Gold Saints, if not probably the most loved and most popular. A lot of guys love him. He's a great villain, and also a great, has a great redemption as well. In many ways, the character. So. It's very cool. A lot of guys have been waiting for this one. Again, just like all the others, there is no date when he's going to release, but expect them. I mean, they're all going to come out in some pace. We're going to get them all soon. Rick Dumb, any thoughts on all these god cloths, these golden god cloths we've seen so far?
Man, they're godly. Tell you that. Shiny, godly things.
All right. I'm a huge fan of Saint Seiya, so I'm very excited. I've been collecting pretty much since the beginning of the St. Cloth Myth line, and I have every figure so far, probably 3-4 times over. Yeah, so I'm definitely looking.
Yeah, man.
All right, now moving on. Of course, they're going to be pushing their new series of Saint Seiya that they're trying to push, the DD Panoramation series, which is the 4-inch Saint Seiya line. This line emphasizes, for people who don't know, the St. Cloth Myth line is kind of like a 1/10 scale series. Larger figures, removable cloth parts, and everything. Figures of Saint Seiya, St. Cloth Myth EX, and St. Cloth Myth are pretty much approaching the $100 scale. So Bandai felt that the Saint Seiya brand needed affordable, more cheaper figures to accommodate, I guess, more casual collectors. So they basically said, well, since our St. Cloth Myth, Saint Seiya items are pretty much $100 figures now, they're all pretty much that price, or reaching that price, they decided to go cheaper and do a 4-inch line, something that's smaller, more affordable, but has all the signature Bandai Tamashii Nations engineering, which, has all the articulation, the detail, the great, accurate sculpting, fan-friendly accessories.
You said 4 inches, right?
Yeah, 4 inches tall. So they're essentially like the 1/18 scale. Like your, Marvel Universe and G.I. Joe, Star Wars. I think Star Wars probably a little bit smaller because Star Wars 3¾ inches, right? So
yeah.
These ones are straight up 4 inches. Basically, this line not only focuses on smaller figures, but also on the fact that each of these figures come with diorama pieces that you can eventually build to make your own big setup, like they're kind of have. You can see right here, all the figures come with parts, so that you can eventually, if you collect them all, you can build yourself a nice display of columns and rubble and stuff like that to have your guys fighting on it. Make a nice display, definitely boosting the display and the play factor, the figures. And again, also the articulation you expect, the detail, accessories, option parts you expect from a Tamashii Nations product is all implemented into this line, the DD Panoramation line. They said that they're not just thinking about Saint Seiya. Saint Seiya is the first one, but they are also thinking about other properties as well eventually. So
yeah, you can almost definitely put DBZ in the ring of this.
So DBZ, and since we're on the topic of that, what would you like to see in the DD Panoramation line? You can also post in the comments, you, the viewers, whoever's watching right now, or eventually will watch. We'd love to hear what you like to see in the DD Panoramation line in the 4-inch scale. Rick Dom here just mentioned Dragon Ball. I think that's definitely a very good idea. Although I do think that for Dragon Ball, I think, we can just stick with SHF. It's a good line. But, obviously some people do like smaller figures. So, people want dioramas and stuff. This might be the way to go.
What would probably do really well, and, it doesn't even have to do with the U.S. at all, would be to make a Panoramation Star Wars would do really well. People, when it comes to Star Wars, it's all about, the smaller scales. So I'm sure it would do very well.
Yeah. No, well, if you guys have some ideas, definitely let us know. We'll make sure to definitely pass them on to the Tamashii Nation staff the next chance we got.
They'll be at my con next week, so
Very, very good. Very good.
Animes. Whoa.
All right. I think we covered most of the Tamashii features stuff.
Yeah.
We can pretty much move on to the next thing of interest, which is the Tamashii web exclusives that have been revealed this week.
The Narutos.
Yep, Naruto, the new Orengaro. I guess this one Michelangelo, right? Is that his name?
Yeah, Michelangelo. Yeah.
Yep, some new figure art Zero, Bakuan. And we already talked about this stuff right here, so we'll just talk about the stuff that we haven't.
And the Michelangelo could be good to talk about too. A lot of people were I don't understand why. I mean, I guess, people have their reservations, but a lot of people weren't happy with the price. I don't really understand why. It's really big and it has a lot of die cast in it.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how anyone could be upset with the price. I mean, DBZ figures are like $10 cheaper than this. I don't think it's too much to ask. $10 more of something much bulkier with die cast. I think it's pretty fair, the price. It looks good. I don't think I'm gonna buy this series. Um, I'm a very. I mean, I was a super Ninja Turtles fan when I was a kid, but I don't know, just not a priority for me. I have those ones that what's it called? What are those people called? The people that hold the license for fucking turtles in the U.S. I don't remember. Playmates. There we go. Playmates. Yeah, there we go. Playmates. I have the ones that Playmates did, and I mean they're not particularly great, but they were cheap enough when I bought them, and I'm just not big enough right now in the current stage of my life that I feel like I really need these. Very cool though. Very cool. Like if somebody has them around me or something like that, I'm fucking posing them. I'm messing with them. Definitely something like that. But
All right. Well, anyways, let's give a moment, since I'm the one controlling the pictures. I'll talk about it so you guys can take a look at what the figure looks like if you guys haven't seen. I'm not a fan of turtles myself at all. I've never been a fan of turtles. In fact, I never understood what was the big fascination with turtles. But obviously, it's a big franchise, and it's considered a very popular franchise worldwide, and especially in America. Rick Dom could definitely he definitely shed more light on it than I did. I'm just kind of talking so you guys can kind of see the pictures.
Yeah, it's a very fun and easygoing series, and I think that one of the biggest reasons why Ninja Turtles was so popular as a kid was not just that it was silly and fun, and it had an incredibly deep toy line, but the simple fact that no matter who you were, you always had a turtle that you could relate to. You had Michelangelo, who was the fun guy that was obsessed with eating pizza and just loved to have fun. You had the very serious, very combat heavy, very angry and aggressive guy with Raphael. You have the very smart and to a fault at times, very into his own technology with Donatello. And you had Leonardo, who was the leader, the more stoic character, the tactician. So you had that those four personalities that pretty much make up what most people are. Very easy for kids to watch and feel like they like Donatello, or they were more like Leonardo, or they saw themselves more like Michelangelo. Very easy in that sense. Whereas was it something like the X-Men cartoon where they were all very like depressive stories, or Spider-Man, where all you had was Peter Parker. I know a lot of people that don't like Peter Parker. One of our friends being Johnny, doesn't like Peter Parker. You had that one personality that you just couldn't get attached to. But Ninja Turtles really easy. You had four different characters you could like, that could easily represent how you are in life. As an adult, I don't know how you could like the original Turtles. That show was terrible. Terrible. Nostalgic, for sure. It's just like G1. G1 is terrible, but I love Generation 1 Transformers. So I'm assuming, definitely, along the same lines, for most people. The newer Turtles really cool. The Nickelodeon stuff, hopefully, these are popular enough that Bandai does those too. Just like the Revoltech, very, very cool.
Yeah, I think if it's safe to say that if it's successful, they'll continue and probably explore other options. Again, I'll just talk a little bit more so you guys can kind of get a look at these figures again, at this Michelangelo figure. But yeah, I have no interest myself, so it looks like some interesting things are answered. I know people are wondering about the weapon storage, which they answer right here, and also looks like it comes with two different types of nunchaku, one that's molded and one with real chains. So you can
it comes with a grappling hook as well.
Yeah, so yeah, good for the fans.
Yeah, very awesome
for the fans. Moving on, there's a bit of controversy from earlier. People were wondering a while back. We went over it ourselves on the Shueisha Shonen Jump calendar, and they showed, figures like the new Vegeta, the new Sasuke, and there was also Itachi as well. And this Itachi is actually different. There has been an Itachi prototype for a while. In fact, I'll see if I can pull up a picture of it right now. Not sure if we can actually even find a picture of it because it's been so long. Okay, well, here's a picture of the old Itachi figure.
It looks like an older one.
Yeah, it's very outdated in design compared to the new one. You can see he has the full sleeves on. He has the articulation in the sleeves. It's kind of a bulky figure. Here's another picture of it right here. It doesn't look terrible, but it probably was not the best way to go necessarily. This was even the head sculpt looks very outdated compared to the new one. The new one looks a lot better if you can compare right here. Wow, it's a big difference.
Yeah, Jesus. What time can do?
Well, that prototype was quite a while ago, so
yeah,
you can see right here.
Must have been like 2012.
Maybe not that long ago. Maybe a couple of years. It has. I mean, 2012 that's a long time ago. That's 4 years ago. So, it was quite a while ago. Anyways, going back, Itachi is basically completely new design. They basically made it so that when you have the cloak on, it doesn't look like he pretty much, he has any real articulation except for maybe the hand. It also looks like, from what I can tell right here, that the way that the cloak attaches is that his arm's not actually. I'm not even sure he's not. You might actually have to just remove the arms and put this cloak on, and you would just plug one of the hands into this cloak right here. I'm assuming that's probably how it's done, at least from the looks of it. Don't quote me on this. I could be wrong. Just looking at it. This figure, one of the most popular characters in Naruto. He's the brother of Sasuke, mysterious and everything. And obviously it does look like the hand does plug into the actual coat attachment part. And it doesn't look like, I wouldn't be surprised if this figure right now does not have any arms underneath. You just slide this on top, basically. He comes with, he looks pretty much perfect. This figure has basically become, Bandai loves to showcase great moments in series. One of those things, which they haven't done anything for, is the father-son Kamehameha, which is very definitive, but yet there's no figures for. Please contact Bandai and tell them that we need our Figure Art Zero father-son Kamehameha.
1,000 times, please.
But that's another story for another time. This is basically Itachi for, this is not really a spoiler anymore because it's been years at this point. This is Itachi's basically his death scene. Him and Sasuke have their battle, their only and final battle pretty much. And this is the version that fights Itachi of Sasuke, which this is the Sasuke they revealed that they were doing, which is technically an earlier version than the one that we already have. And this Itachi is basically meant to go with the Sasuke and vice versa. And there's a scene right here, this touching scene of, now if you're a fan, then you know what's going on here. I won't say it in case people haven't seen it, or I already spoiled enough. So he has different expressions. As you can see, great articulation. I mean, I don't think it really matters that he doesn't have the cloak on, considering, for him to battle and stuff, this is what he normally did. Normally, when he has the cloak on, Itachi's one of those characters where he just kind of blinks at you and you get attacked. So he's one of those really powerful, overpowered characters. So, and yeah, it's a really great figure. They just got solicited in the U.S. today. The retail price in the U.S. is $59.99, and I believe the release will probably be about a month after the Japanese release. And they come out in November in Japan, so probably just in time for Christmas.
Man.
So yeah, it looks good. Definitely, a must for the fans. Comes with 3 different facial expressions, 3 different sets of hands.
You said one of the facial expressions was important, right?
Yes, the smiling one right here. Now, the problem I have with this scene right here, he's supposed to be also crying. and well, he's not crying, and it's like they wanted to keep it so that you can use it for other things as well. So it is what it is.
Now to the Sasuke.
Again, if you're a fan, you'll know. If you know the series, you'll know what I'm talking about. So then Sasuke, this is called the Itachi Sen version, which is basically the Itachi battle version. Which we're basically getting. He's an all new sculpt. It's a different version of Sasuke altogether. It's not the one that we got before, which is a later version than this. This is basically his second or third look in Shippuden. So yeah, you can see he comes with his sword. He still has the split in his the part in his hair in the middle, which later versions he doesn't have anymore. So it's a different look for him altogether. And he has his even bewildered look when he gets touched by his brother on his forehead. Again, if you're a fan, you'll know what this scene means, and it's meant to recreate it. One of the great things about and I'm not trying to necessarily be biased about Japanese companies and action figures and stuff like that. They're very conscious of the material, the source material where these characters come from. You never see on a Marvel Legends box, them reenacting scenes on the package and stuff like that, or in galleries where they'll have like scenes like this showing you a touching scene from the series or things like that. They never try to do things like that. They just want to sell it like it's an action figure. They don't like to think about it as something that you can recreate the scenes that you love, these scenes that touch your heart. And when you look at, Bandai or Max Factory or Good Smile and, Kyoto, Square Enix, when you see them sometimes do galleries, they purposely go out of their way to recreate some of these touching or memorable moments from the series, where when you see it, you kind of feel like the figure is even more than just a figure, because when you look at it, you get all those feelings, surging through your heart, through your body when you look at them, because you're like, wow, this is like, these figures recreate the scene. It's like I'm having a piece of this moment. These figures can recreate this moment for me. So, it definitely brings those feelings out when you look at stuff like this. You see he has his, Sharingan face. He has a Chidori effect part. So what do you think of these Naruto figures right now?
Very awesome. A lot of people wanted a different Sasuke. And from what you're telling me, there's a very powerful and emotional scene. So very awesome. Very awesome for fans to get this. Although I may not be a fan, I'm very happy and excited for the Naruto fans to get more. I know a lot of people tend to worry about this line and where it's going and what's happening, and these things going up so quickly, and together just show that the line is alive. Just show the support and show them that you like what they're doing. And if you don't like what they're doing, and contact them, let them know you don't like what they're doing. The only way for people to know is for you to talk to them. It's no different than any other relationship you may have. Talking is the best way to get forth what you wanna show. So, and when it's not talking, then it's time to put up your wallet.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, now that we have Itachi, we have another Sasuke, I would not be surprised from this point on. This is kind of the point where the Dragon Ball SHF line started to really pick up the pace, and figures started going for money, and people started wanting to collect the line. I think if they start popping out them more steadily after this, I think we could really have a real line going. Like, a real line where you have a lot of figures coming out. Not a lot of figures coming out, because, they're going to keep it at that pace where, everything else is at. It's not going to be like one figure a month or anything like that. But I think we're getting 2 figures in this 1 month, I think. I think it's... Yep. No. This one comes out October, and Sasuke comes out October, Itachi comes out November. So it's 2 figures in the span of 2 months. So, I think after these 2 are released, I think we'll really see a surge in the Naruto line and start to see more characters and more love from Bandai. I mean, something like this right here, like I said before, you know, what's really great about this line and this series is, you know, you can recreate these scenes, and I would love to see more specific stuff like this, you know, for sure.
Yeah, and you know, like we've said many times, you know, our words and our advice to these companies can only mean so much. You know, you want more, you like how frequently this is coming, you know, make those pre-orders, man. You buy the figures.
Yeah, I said both figures are $59.99 to US. I'm sure some places will get a discount. I'm sure they'll pop up in Barnes & Noble. Definitely, any way you could support the Bluefin distribution and Tamashii nations in North America, definitely pick these figures up. Anyways, moving on. You know, definitely, guys, order this. Let's see what else we have here. I think, okay, another figure. Odd kind of came out of nowhere, the Garo Orden version. This is one of the ascended versions of Garo, one of his super modes in a TV special that came out a while ago. This is probably like 8 to 10 years ago. This appeared in the show. Bandai obviously really loves Koga, who is the first Garo we were introduced to. He's the first. He's the Garo. He's the protagonist of the first Garo TV series, and he's the guy who's pretty much probably been Garo the longest as far as the TV show is concerned. As far as episode count. This is one of his super forms. It's kind of like almost like an ashra, like Buddhist, kind of like, you know, Nirvana super mode. It's very cool. Obviously, it needs the support of the stand, as you can see here. Bandai is not, you know, trying to say, oh man, it can stand without the stand. You see the stands right here, right? They're not, you know, joking around about that. But it's a very cool, very awesome release, and comes with his like spear and everything. It's got this very kind of like Buddhist God of War kind of vibe to him. Definitely a must-buy if you're a Garo fan. I'll definitely be picking one up. What do you think of this awesome figure?
Oh, very sick. Oh, very sick.
What do you think of the Garo series?
Never seen it, but, you know, I've always been tempted. You know, I know it's more of on the adult side, so I've always been really tempted to watch.
Yeah, definitely you should check it out one day, man. It is a great series. It's right now up on Tamashii Web Shop, which is pretty much where all Garo figures are these days. This pretty much looks like it's using the current updated Garo figure and basically adding these parts to it. So it's cool, you know, no problem. Definitely a must-buy for the fans. I don't think we really need to cover the Pretty Cure stuff. We kind of covered it already. It's all good. It's all good. Anyways, oh, there's a new Figure Art Zero. One Piece figure. Senor Pink.
Senor Pink.
Yeah, man. Senor Pink. And his bitches.
Look at all the bitches.
Senor Pink and his bitches. Oh, look at that. Oh, man. Senor Pink and his bitches.
Yeah, man. JC, you need to cosplay this dude, go to a con, and get all the bitches like him.
So, Senor Pink and his bitches.
Senor Pink.
All right, now moving on from Senor Pink, let's move on to the next big news of the week for people.
The Penguin mascot figure. Woo!
All right, so a lot of fans were kind of dropped with a bomb this week. Even though we all knew a Vegeta figure was coming, Bandai unveiled that this new Vegeta is essentially a 2.0 to the Super Saiyan Vegeta we already have. A lot of guys you saw all kinds of predictions for this figure when it was unveiled.
Yeah. It's gonna be Majin. It's gonna be
Majin. It's gonna be Super Saiyan 3. It's gonna be, you know, it was all kinds of crazy theories that was going on. And I guess the one theory no one really ever thought of was it was just simply going to be a 2.0 version of Vegeta. First off, Rick, what do you think of this? What's your view on this figure?
I mean, people like you and I and even our friend Poncho, you know, we've been buying this kind of stuff for a long time, and something like this was never a matter of if, it was a matter of when, and I'm not surprised or upset by it, you know, because it is very easy for new fans to be upset with this move. You know, that original Vegeta goes for a lot of money, was recently redone for that PC version. And, you know, you buy it because, you know, you weren't into the line in the beginning. And now that you buy that PC, they reveal this. I can understand why you're upset, but, you know, I've had my Vegeta since 2009. Or when did that Vegeta come out? 2000?
Been a while. Like, I don't think it was 2000.
No, that's way too early. Yeah,
like 2000 and like 10.
10, yeah, like 2010. I've had my Vegeta since it originally came out. I pre-ordered from Big Bad Toy Store. You know, I still have the log to show. So getting a new Vegeta to me is like, fuck, finally. You know, I'm not upset, but I understand why people are annoyed.
It came out 2011. Actually, came out the end of 2011.
Yeah, I understand. I understand why people are upset, but I'm personally not. I bought that Vegeta a long time ago. It's about time we got a different Vegeta. And I'm happy to see this 2.0 version. It looks really cool. I really love that hair. The head sculpt is great, and the articulation looks to follow that of the Trunks as well. Yeah, and it's not the same body. For those that keep asking the question, it's not the same body. I'm perfectly happy with it. I'm gonna fucking buy this too. And I'm gonna buy any repaints that they do of this too. You know, this kind of stuff. I have the patience for stuff like this. You know, a lot of people who've been with this line since the beginning do. You know, we've been doing this a lot for a long time. You know, we've been buying a lot of different figure lines and stuff like that. Something like this doesn't necessarily surprise me. It was more of an if. I mean, it was not an if. It was more of a when. You know, definitely didn't expect it that soon. I kind of just assumed it was going to be that Super Saiyan 3 or that or like a Majin version. It seemed the easier, simple thing to do, which is more understanding of a company like Bandai. But you know, to see an all new version, I'm fucking ecstatic. That's even better. You know, it's awesome.
Yeah. Going on, before I go on to give my thoughts on it, a lot of people have been asking, and this is actually a question I asked. I'll answer it in more detail later, but in my opinion, this figure is essentially Super Saiyan Vegeta. I know a lot of people, I mean, there's a thing right here where he says, you know, I am Super Vegeta, you know, or Super Vegeta, or Super Vegeta, you know, basically, technically he's more buff than your original Vegeta figure, but honestly, I don't think he's as buff as the Super Saiyan second grade, which is what a lot of people are trying to justify by saying that this is a Super Saiyan second grade. So, you know, my premium color Vegeta is still a valid figure to me, and that's fine if you want to think that, because he definitely is more buff. But honestly, I really kind of view this as a 2.0. I mean, it could be, of course, you could always say it's Super Saiyan second grade, but then at the same time, there's times when he's drawn this buff in general, in my opinion, and you know, I mean, I honestly think that this could be your regular Super Saiyan Vegeta as well. That's just my thought of it. I'll talk about it. We actually have some questions, and one person actually asked that question. I'll go into more detail, but going on, there's no doubt this figure is better than the original Super Saiyan Vegeta in every way. The head sculpt is better. I've always never liked the facial sculpt on Vegeta. I always thought it was a little bit off, but this one is pretty much dead on and perfect. I don't know what it is about the shape of the first one, or I mean, it was good for the time, and I wasn't really knocking it because it was still, you know, pretty decent. You know, I mean, it's not like it was bad, but I always thought it was a little bit off. This one's pretty much perfect. The hair is perfect. His facial expressions are a lot more expressive than the first ones that they did for him in his older figure.
Yeah, they're a lot sharper now.
Yeah, I mean, the figure itself is sharper. It's got the crossed arms included, which he's always should have come with. I mean, this is also the perfect figure to go with Trunks. I mean, always the problem with Trunks, this new Trunks coming out, is that the new Trunks figure is so nice that first Vegeta figure just looks really bad next to it in many ways. In fact, the color didn't really particularly match either. And I mean, when you look at this Vegeta is definitely the best Vegeta action figure ever made. When you look at it, I mean, it's got the sculpting, the painting, everything about it is really great. Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that this is definitely the definitive Vegeta figure. Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, I mean, a lot of guys were trying to, justify it by, saying, whatever things about it, saying stuff like, oh man, you're just using Trunks' body and putting a new head on it. And obviously, you can see right here, he's clearly shorter than Trunks. I mean, it's a different sculpt. It's a new thing. It's just the whole idea.
The torso itself looks different.
Yeah,
too.
the torso
I don't even.
It's different. Look, you can see like the actual like panel lines on his stomach are actually like less of them on Vegeta than there are on Trunks. But I mean, the other thing about it is just the fact that this is like Rick Dom said. This is inevitable. Eventually, then this is going to happen. You're going to have to buy all the characters over again at some point. As long as the line is successful, they're going to somehow figure out ways to make the figures better and stuff like that. This has always been how Japan does it. I mean, Saint Seiya is a great example. We talked about the Saint Cloth Myth line earlier, but one of the things about Saint Cloth Myth line, it started off as Saint Cloth Myth. And those figures, it's been more than 10 years since the line started. And the St. Cloth Myth EX line essentially redid a lot of the characters, like the 5 bronze, the 12 gold, all were redone. Technically, all got the same treatment, these 2.0 versions. So Japan is always very interested in upgrading characters and figures and stuff like that with all new sculpts, all new technology. Whenever they get new technology, they always upgrade it. In the US, it's not as big of a thing, so I think that's why a lot of American fans are kind of taken aback. A lot of collectors I know are very big on the whole mentality that, oh man, I buy one and I never have to buy one again. Well, the sad thing, the truth of the reality is, you're never going to be done. There's always going to be a better one eventually. Just give it enough time. Just like this Vegeta right here, one day this one will be upgraded.
And I think the right thing to would be to say that, like, you may think that you're done, but the world is not done, and the company is not done with upgrading what needs to be made. You always want these companies to improve. And, I always hear fans asking for new sculpts and, like, new redos, but then when they do a redo, everybody's upset. There's no winning. Even if you think that you're done, even if you don't think that you need another, they're going to do something like this to you again, and you're going to need another, and the company showing you that you do need another.
Yeah, I mean, it's never, the fact of the matter is, it's never going to be done. There's always going to be new stuff. There's always going to be upgrades and things like that. I mean, a lot of fans, always want to have, they always want to be able to think that, they can purchase at one time and, that's it. But it's just not going to be the case. There's always going to be new stuff. So, yeah. Eventually, every figure, your Super Saiyan Son Goku, you're going to have to replace every single one you bought with a new version. Now, the question is, you may not want to purchase a new version. That's okay. You're happy with the one you have. There's never anyone holding a gun to your head forcing you to buy it. Now, the question, as a collector, it's like this. And I'll tell you what it is. I mean, and anyone knows this. Anyone can agree. At the end of the day, while you may, cry and kick and scream and whine about it, you can't live without the better one. I mean, you look at it and you're like, wow, I need to have that better one. But, you hate the fact that you're buying it.
That's definitely, why people are so annoyed. I mean, at the end of the day, if this thing wasn't good, if this wasn't an upgrade, if this wasn't something that people must have, they wouldn't say anything. They'd just be like, another fucking Vegeta, they wouldn't be as emotional about what's happening if they didn't honestly believe that, dude, this is better and I need it. It's obvious that that's what they think. There's no way to argue that this one is better. People are, as negative as people want to make it out to be. This is a great response for Bandai. This is what you want. You don't want people to just sigh at it and just be like, oh, man, a Vegeta. People are pissed because it's so good they can't live without it. They want so badly to find a way to justify them not buying it, and they can't because it's so good.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the reality of it all. Everybody, is complaining about it. Everyone is mad, but at the end of the day, they're all going to buy it. So it's really what it's come down to. And eventually, like I said, you're going to have to upgrade them all. So, you know, this line is going to keep going for a long time. They've already talked about they want this line to go on forever. So all these guys who want, you know, your Tenshinhans and your Yamchas and stuff like that, those are all going to come eventually. But, you know, they're also going to be doing 20 new Gokus and 100 new Vegetas and Gohans and Piccolo. Piccolo's probably going to get an upgrade soon, too. I mean, he was, after all, the very first SHF Dragon Ball figure. So, yeah.
And a favorite character of Bandai's.
So, yeah, this figure is better than the old one in pretty much every way. And you can see clearly right here he's shorter, and, you know, the sculpt is different. So, it is a good figure. So, going back, we actually just got some new pictures from the event. Like I said, the doors had just opened, so there were some stuff that we hadn't seen yet that we knew. They had just revealed SHF Hongo Takeshi, who is the human form of Kamen Rider #1. This is his younger version, so this is the Showa era Hongo Takeshi. He looks like he pretty much has the new Rider #1 belt, so it's the new Rider #1 Shinichigo, and it looks like it uses the facial scan, the facial digital coloring, and everything. So they're finally implementing it onto Asian characters, which is cool. There's also been revealed a Kamen Rider Black with LED light eyes, I think, like a wireless.
Wow, that's crazy.
Tamashi Act Stage wireless. I'm assuming this must be some kind of LED feature. But yeah, there it is right there. We've also have just shown us the Metal Build Blue Frame, which a lot of fans have been wanting. It has some new weapons that the red frame doesn't have, the missile clusters and big missile cluster on the shoulder and this big ass cannon. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff. Like I said, the reports are coming in as we speak. And yeah, these are, you know, very cool. And it looks like they just added them in the display to those yesterday. Yesterday was just these three. Now they just added a new toy. So, you know, like I said, we're still seeing stuff, man. There's still stuff being shown. So by no means are we going to cover it all, sadly. But yeah. What do you think of these new reveals, Rick?
Man, those light up eyes are fucking crazy.
And it looks like it's light up eyes. I'm not actually sure what it is at this moment, because it obviously looks like the lights are lit up right here, but it says Tamashi Stage Act Wireless. I don't know. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be exactly.
Yeah. And that rider, you know, in human form, very, very cool.
Yeah, this is a great chance to do more. Definitely, Kamen Rider human forms. I would love to see. I would love to see other guys. So that's definitely a welcome addition. Yeah. Anyways, it looks like there might be more news trickling, but we'll move on to the next thing for now. Outside of Bandai, the first non-Bandai thing we talked about all day, I guess. All right, Hot Toys has revealed. 1/6 scale, Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back Yoda. This is the Yoda that the most iconic version of Yoda, probably is the most iconic version. This is him on Dagobah, the more kind of calm and, you know, seemingly fragile but very powerful Jedi Master Yoda. And yeah, he's up for pre-order already. It looks absolutely incredible. This is like the Yoda to have. I can't wait.
This Yoda looks so good that it's better than the real life version from the movie.
That's how good it is.
That's how good this is.
I mean, look at, man, that fucking detail is just incredible.
Yeah, man, it's fucking crazy, man. Pre-order this.
Yeah, I'm a huge Yoda fan, so I mean, this is something I gotta have. Absolutely. I mean, I collect almost all the Hot Toy Star Wars anyway, but this is one that I can't live without.
Oh yeah, man. This is a must pre-order for sure.
The closed eyes expression, it's so perfect.
Yeah, the closed eyes. The closed eyes was unreal.
And he comes with this really cool base too. I mean, as expensive as your normal 12-inch figures, but he comes with quite a bit of stuff, so it's definitely worth it, I think.
Yeah, I cannot wait to get this.
As you can see, he even comes with these rocks that he can lift with the force. It's held by these clear plastic rods.
I was surprised. Cool. I was surprised he didn't come with a silly face.
Maybe they'll do a Return of the Jedi.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna do it again. You know, they're gonna sell another one. They're gonna sell you another one. Return of the Jedi one can also probably come with the death of Yoda's bed and everything too. You know?
Oh man, that'd be sick.
Crazy stuff. That would be one that you go and do when you do the Jedi Luke.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Jedi Luke. So that'll be definitely something to look forward to. I'm very looking forward to them doing the Dagobah Luke. When he's training and stuff, that would be very cool one to do also. So
a backpack.
Yeah, with the backpack you can put Yoda in. That's definitely a must. Yoda. Yeah, he retails for $199.99. It's a little bit pricey. I know some people have been complaining, but I mean, it's definitely, if you love Yoda, you love Star Wars, I may consider it's a no-brainer.
And if you do the payment plans, you know, it's like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Like you're buying a figure art every month until it comes out. You know, not a big deal.
Pretty much. And this is just incredible. I mean, it's a must-have.
Oh yeah, man.
All right. Is there any other stuff that we haven't covered? Let's go check the pre-order world this week. Oh yeah. The Tony Stark also went up.
Yeah, Tony.
The mech test version with the Hall of Armor. First print version comes with a bonus mech test base. So you definitely want to get on this first edition, because you know otherwise the figure just doesn't even come with that. It doesn't come with what's in that picture. So he's just going to come with some hands and stuff like that. He's not going to come with the base. So you definitely want to get the base. So base, Tony's powered stage. Otherwise he comes with optional left and right hands times 2 types. Mark 42 hand and foot set, and it's great. It's a good likeness for a 1/12 scale figure.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, you know, it's not like a Hot Toys or something like that, but it is pretty cool. So.
Yeah, and you know, you never know, could be upgraded throughout time, so could get even better than what we see now, which is already pretty good.
And also Cyclone Joker, which we talked about earlier, also
effects parts for Cyclone Joker.
Yep. And also these Tamashi wind effect parts. There's a green version and a violet version. These are essentially, for all intents and purposes, these were pretty much made for Kamen Rider Double Cyclone Joker. You can see right here, you know, the different uses you can have with them. This right here is pretty much Cyclone Joker. So, you know, you have green and purple, which are the colors of Cyclone Joker as well. So they're pretty much made for Cyclone Joker. But you, of course, can use it for, there's many other uses for them. They're not exclusively for Cyclone Joker.
Yeah, you know, Cell has the purple charge up, so, you know, you can use it for Cell.
You can use it for Cell. You can use it for lots of things. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with it. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's
just definitely made with Cyclone Joker in mind.
Yeah, and it's not a coincidence that Cyclone Joker and these effects parts went up the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, not sure what else we collect.
We'll talk about Jason.
Oh, Jason is American release. Oh, look at this right here.
Oh man, really saucy. I know JC wants that one.
Yeah. So not much other releases from our last show we haven't really covered. At least I can see right here. But yeah, I mean, definitely some cool stuff. While we're on it, I guess we can talk about the Jason since it's on here. It's not really a Japanese thing, but since we're technically on the page, it's something of kind of interest to some people, I guess. The Sideshow's doing their the first Jason in the new era of Sideshow collectibles. You know, 1/6 scale figures. The last Jason they did was a long time ago, and that was when their figures still cost less than $100, I think. And this is way later. This is like almost 10 years later, and this one looks way better than any Jason they've ever done. This is probably the best 1/6 scale Jason ever made, if you're into Jason. I'm not particularly into it, but it is, you can tell, is a lot better. It's clearly better than anything they've ever done. Look at the great detail, the blood detail. He comes with the exclusive version, comes with this shotgun or rifle or whatever it is. From the Friday the 13th Part 3, I think. Yeah. It looks good. It's definitely a nice figure. Are you a fan of Jason, Rick?
I like Jason. Very cool looking. You know, I'm not some super Jason fan or anything like that, but pretty cool.
So yeah, if you guys got any questions, start asking them. We have some questions that we got, our typical emails and stuff like that. So you guys want to start asking questions, go ahead and start asking them. We will probably start the Q&A pretty soon, answer any questions that anyone might have about stuff. Let us look at the questions we have. What questions do we have? Actually, let me check and make sure there's no new reveals first. Maybe we can talk about some other reveals. There's been a lot of reveals, so it's a Tamashi-centric episode. Also, like, there's anything new reveals yet.
We have a few questions.
Let's look and see if we got any reveals. I think right now we're probably going to be seeing some soon. Our luck, they'll probably start rolling in more reveals as soon as the show's over.
And the amount of time people listening and watching, the amount of times that we've ended a show and things revealed right after is every single episode we've ever had. Every freaking time. Every time. We're like, damn, we want to talk about more, but like, oh, I guess there's nothing to talk about. Show's over. And then, like, 2 hours later, reveal. Like, no!
Yeah, so, moving on. Why don't you go ahead and tell us what the first question is right now?
The first question is, what figure or what characters would we like to see done in the Naruto line next?
That is a good question. The next character is obviously, someone mentioned Jiraiya. Jiraiya is definitely a good choice.
For the Johnnies.
We definitely should get a Sakura. Hinata would be good. Get some females in the line. A lot of people want the female characters. Hinata and Sakura would be good choices to start off with. You could just do obviously the Shippuden versions, the later versions, which would be fine. Would be also nice to see, your other characters. Rock Lee's a very popular character. Rock Lee's actually very popular among the staff at Tamashii. A lot of guys want a Rock Lee to come out, so probably Rock Lee would be a good one to do. Neji would be a good one to do. The list is endless. Naruto is such a rich, very deep universe with a lot of great characters, very well fleshed out, well developed characters. That there's a lot of favorites. There's no one character that's more popular than everybody. So there's a lot of popular characters, and a lot of characters have a huge fan following. Tamaru would also be a really nice one. The Shikamaru. Shikamaru would be a great character. Well.
Yeah, I know JC has said in the past that he'd love to see a Shikamaru.
Yeah, Shikamaru. There's a lot of cool ones. Even some of the villains would be cool too. So, and someone mentioned.
I don't know shit about Naruto. The only reason I know anything about Naruto is because pretty much every Naruto movie that has been in a theater I've watched because my friends. My friend is a guy who loves to be very generous, and he loves to be around his friends. So he always buys the movie tickets for everyone, and he just wants all of his friends to go watch the movies with him. So I've seen a lot of Naruto films. So from just that perspective of the viewer that I am of Naruto, I would really love to get a Boruto, and a seventh. That's
Boruto would be cool. If anything, the main thing would just be the fact that the thing about Boruto would be just simply it's a current thing. So I think it's something that's definitely it could be very likely that it could happen.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, more so than what I personally believe is likely. Just what I would want to see. Definitely a Boruto and a seventh, and a Sasuke from during that
Oh, the
time.
older Sasuke.
Yeah, the older Sasuke. Yeah, that
From the Boruto era. Yeah.
Those three, I would definitely buy those 100%.
Yeah.
I honestly, I'm not. It's like I've said. I've never even watched the series of Naruto. But being perfectly honest here, if they made a Boruto, I would probably buy 3. Just to have that.
Akage Bunshin.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the Boruto was definitely something. Definitely something I think is very likely that can happen. Again, it's a current thing, so it would be a smart thing to do, I think, for sure. But yeah. Moving on. What other questions do we got?
Believe it or not, surprise, surprise, it's another Naruto question.
Oh.
He's asking, although we haven't seen it yet, do you believe that at the show that we could see any Naruto reveals at some point?
I think yeah. I mean, there's always a chance. I mean, right now we still don't know everything at the show because we're not there. Of course, there's always a chance we can see more.
I mean, look at that. Look at that one Gundam picture from just a couple of hours ago. Had 2 robots in it, and now it has 4.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, there's definitely a chance we can see it for sure. I mean, like I said, I mean the news is still rolling in. I mean, there's still a lot of stuff we haven't seen yet. So right here, I'm looking at new pictures I haven't seen yet. So yeah, there's definitely a chance. There's definitely a chance. No doubt about it. I mean, but I think definitely before the end of the year, if anything, even if we don't see any more Tamashii features, we'll definitely see some more Naruto reviews. So obviously the line is still well, and like I said, I mean, after this Itachi and Sasuke come out, it would be actually a great chance to actually do, more characters and stuff like that, and really get the line moving. And then I think when the line really starts to get moving and starts getting in that pace, that I think more fans are going to be into it, are going to be collecting the line. So.
Oh yeah.
What's the next question?
Those are the only questions we have so far.
How about the email question? Let's do the email question.
Yeah, we'll do the email questions.
We'll do the email question. You guys keep asking questions. Keep asking. We're definitely gonna answer them. All the questions we can answer, we'll answer. All right, first email question. Which Fortress Maximus should I buy, Hasbro or Takara? This has actually been a pretty popular question. This is the Japanese Takara Fortress Maximus. It has a very G1 look, the G1 colors. In my personal opinion, this is the one to buy. Although some people do like the US version. The US version is more colorful, although I think the colors are kind of weird on the US version. I can pull up the US version pictures and you guys can kind of judge for yourself. It's got this weird colors to it. Oops, that's a video, not what I wanted. You see right here, this is the US version. This is also a 3D render of the US version, so it's not going to look this detailed of the final product. But this is this is basically the colors that the US version are. It's got this red around the knees. It's got it's got this green eyes. I don't know why. It's got some people like the green window.
Green window plastic.
We can kind of look at it. This is the Japanese one, which in my opinion is, I'm a fan of the G1 Headmasters version, the Japanese one. So I'm much more a fan of this than I am of this, to be honest.
Yeah, I went with Takara myself.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's really going to depend on, I mean, I know guys get sick of me saying this, but at the end of the day, it's really going to be about, what one that you want the most. A lot of people seem to be trying to kind of justify the price of the idea that the price will be different. It's going to have a much more more expensive price than the US version, the Japanese one. Like, especially when you factor in shipping, it's going to be a big figure and everything. There's also this image floating around. I can't pull it up for some strange reason, but you could see right here in some of these images that he has like these gray hands. I'm assuming this version that we're seeing, this is the one that was displayed at Toy Fair. I'm assuming this one's actually the SDCC version. I'm just assuming because he has the gray hands, and the regular ones, both the Japanese one and the US regular release had a blue hand. So this could be an indication that this is actually the SDCC version. Last year when they showed Devastator, apparently the one on display ended up being the SDCC version. So I believe so anyway. So I don't know.
That definitely feels that way.
Yeah. But if I'll be honest, it's really up to you. Look at the colors, what you can live with. Honestly, I prefer this version, the Japanese one. It's Japanese one's also going to come with the sword and everything, and the Master Sword. And the US one, I don't believe the regular release one comes with Master Sword, but I do believe that the SDCC one's supposed to come with it. So, it's up to you. The other cool thing about this version is apparently it also plays the Japanese opening music for Headmasters, which for me, that's just a clear sell. This is the one to get. This is the best version, in my opinion. And this was like a first day pre-order for me. As soon as it went up, I pre-ordered it. So, Fortress Maximus, of all the city formers, is definitely my favorite one. So, I'm definitely happy that, we're getting a new updated version. So. And Rick Dom, as you can elaborate here, he also went with the version.
Just like EMIYA here, as soon as it went up, instant pre-order. This was the version I had to have. I'm not a fan of the clear green motif, and the coloring is just so much nicer on this one. And
it's much more uniform and just seems balanced. Yeah,
flows very well, very balanced. This is definitely the one to get for me, at least. And I always tell people, you can't afford the Japanese one. It sounds, you don't think you could justify paying that much more. It's all good. Get whichever version you want. Just this is what we're gonna do. And those are the reasons why we're pre-ordering this version. So.
All right. The next question after that. Do you want to say it or want me to say it? You want to say it, Rick, Tom? The next question?
Let me go to the list.
Just go to the bottom.
Yeah.
We only got a few of them this week.
Yeah.
You guys are slacking on the questions.
Come on, man. What's going on here? Questions. All right. GSC is reissuing Saber Motored Crusader, and also Saber Lily recently. Is it safe to assume that other reissues are coming in the 1/7 scale Fate series from GSC? I am mostly wanting a Saber Alter Vortigern.
The 1/7 scale Fate scale figures are what I consider pretty much the definitive scale figures for the Fate series. They're the nicest series. The only bad problem about the series so far, they're pretty much very Saber dominant. In fact, every figure there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 different figures in the line, and there's going to be another one, a 6th one coming out as well. And all of them, except for one, is pretty much Saber, different versions of Saber. So I guess really it will just depend on if you like. But definitely they're the best sculpted, I think overall the best quality of all the Saber figures that you can get in the, I guess, standard 1/8, 1/6, 1/7 scales, the popular scale. This is the Saber Motor Creature. It's from Fate Zero. It's one of the best Saber figures ever made. The only problem I have with this one is just the fact that it's a 1/8 scale. I don't know why they just didn't bother going all out making it 1/7, but they were kind of afraid that they didn't want the price to get too high. That's always the feeling I got. But it is a really nice figure. It's finally getting reissued. Again, Saber Lily, which was also another very popular Saber figure from that series. It's actually the very first of the series, Saber Lily, of the 1/7 scale series. She's actually the first figure in that series. So I think it's time for her for a reissue. I mean, she's been reissued before, but obviously, you know, Saber's super popular, and people are always new collectors coming in. It's always great to give a chance for these guys to come in and, you know, get these figures that they missed out on. And I think Saber Vortigern actually, I think, has been reissued once already. But I'm assuming when Heaven's Field comes out, where Saber Alter is pretty much the main Saber. She's the prominent Saber in that story, that route, that we will definitely get a reissue, and it's definitely coming. Same with a lot of people also ask about Rin. If she's
Rin,
you know, and I think at some point, you know, definitely. Oddly enough, they didn't reissue her during Unlimited Blade Works, so you figured that would be the ideal time to go ahead and do it. But to be honest, aside from reissues, I would really wish they just did more characters in this line. I'd love to see some other characters besides.
And for the love of God, give me a Shiro.
Yeah, Shiro, you know, Kiritsu. They're not even necessarily even have to be the guys, but I'd love to see like a rider. And,
yeah.
You know, I'd love to see maybe a different Rin, or, you know, maybe some other character.
I'd love to see a Lancer.
You know, Lancer, you know, Kiritsu would be cool. There's a lot of ones you could do in the 1/7 scale line.
I'd love a Berserker.
Yeah. Yeah, Berserker would be really cool. Although it's sad to say they will probably never do it, but it would be really cool to do.
Yeah.
Hopefully one day, you know, and let GSC know. You know, again, it's about speaking, but we can all get together and, you know, band together and say that we want a certain character done. That would be cool. I definitely think an Archer in 1/7 scale, an EMIYA Archer, of course, and even the Gilgamesh in 1/7 scale would be great. I'd love to see some of the male characters, but
yeah,
we'll just have to see. Shiro would be one of the ones to do. Considering we have so many Saber, but no Shiro to go with it, you know, so it would be really cool to definitely have those versions. And again, we're definitely going to get more Sabers, you know. We're always going to get more Sabers. So
yeah, any version of Saber we don't have yet, guaranteed it's going to come at some point.
Yeah, so it would be cool, definitely in the future if we can get it. Yeah, but definitely. Speaking of the reissues, yeah, definitely going to happen. As long as there's popularity there, you know, GSC is a very fan-oriented company. They love the fans, and, you know, they do really listen to the fans. They do make stuff. They don't take, you know, they do take sometimes forever. Not as bad as Bandai, but they do take forever with reissues sometimes. But it does happen eventually. So. Anyways, moving on. The next question, I think this is our last email question, and this goes back to one of the things we talked about earlier, the Bandai, you know, SHF Super Saiyan Vegeta. It says, now that Bandai is doing Super Vegeta, do you think it is necessary to still buy the premium color Super Saiyan Vegeta? Okay, now, like I said, the Super Vegeta, in my opinion, could be either, you could. Even though people are justifying the purchase of it being Super Vegeta, I really think it could just be a regular Vegeta. That's just me personally. I mean, some people think, oh, he's way too buff. I don't think he's way too buff. I think in some pictures, Vegeta's just drawn really buff anyway. I don't think that it's a necessary thing. I also think that's the second phase of Super Saiyan is also a very you know, it's actually, in my opinion, much bigger, in my opinion. So that's just me. You know, the second grade Super Saiyan, I just think is much larger overall. I don't think it's as small as, you know, guys are saying, you know. But I mean, you know, whatever. I mean, it's one of those things where you know, if you feel like you got to have both of them, I personally think if you have one, I'll just tell you. I would rather, if I were you and I didn't actually own any of them, I would rather just buy 2 of the new Vegeta and skip the other one altogether. Skip the premium color one altogether. That's just me. But if you feel like you want to be a completist, you want to have all the modes, I mean, it's not to say that the Super Saiyan Vegeta, the one that's out now, the premium colors one or the original one, is a bad figure. It's a good figure. It doesn't have a lot of the new technology that necessarily that, you know, Bandai, Tamashii Nations has created for the SHF line. It's an older figure, but it's still a great figure. It's still a good figure. It's still definitely, in my opinion, better than, I like it more than, any Marvel Legend or anything, that type of stuff, in my opinion. That's just me, though. So, I mean, Rick, Dom, what do you think? Do you think that the premium colors Vegeta still work on it?
Like you said, if you're you're a completist, yeah, and you really love Dragon Ball, definitely. But just like EMIYA here said, I'm not a completist. If you gave me the choice of like, hey man, I'm starting right now, you could get either Vegeta, I just get 2 of this new one.
Yeah. I mean, this one is really, I can't even stress enough. I mean, I don't get me wrong, dude. I have several premium color Vegetas. I sort of wish I never bought them all now. It's okay. I mean, it's whatever. I mean, I can all, the thing about it is, it's still a good thing. I don't, regret my decision to buy a few, but ultimately speaking, this figure is better in every way. As a figure, this one's better in every single way. Again, I think he could be a regular Vegeta. I don't think he looks as buff as the second phase of Super Saiyan should be. I think in those pictures. I mean, what? Let's just pull up the picture of. Let's end this argument right now. Let's pull up a picture of Super Saiyan second grade. And see for ourselves how much more buff he is. I mean, in my opinion, he's way more buff. I don't think. Okay.
Oh yeah, look at this. He's like a fucking.
I mean, look at this. I mean, hold on. Let's find a higher. Let's get a higher res picture. Can we get a higher res picture? There we go. I'm sorry. I think this picture right here, he is much bigger. He is much bigger than. He's much bigger than than that figure, in my opinion. I mean, let's look at the figure again. Let's look at the figure again. Let's go back and look at the figure. Yeah, I definitely don't. He's definitely bigger, man. I mean, you guys can, judge for yourself. This is Super Saiyan second grade, and look at the picture right here. This figure, I really don't. I mean, I guess you could kind of say they definitely made him buffer, so you kind of consider. Like I said, this is what Bandai does. They made it so it's kind of neutral. He's buff enough that he can be considered buffer than the original one. He's obviously buff, so you can kind of pretend he's Super Saiyan second grade, but at the same time, it's neutral enough that he can be, your regular one as well.
Yep.
I mean, look how much bigger his biceps are. I mean, even the legs, in my opinion. I mean, I guess the legs you kind of make an argument for, but definitely the biceps and his shoulders are a lot bigger. Even his chest is a lot bigger. I mean, look at his fucking.
I don't think they make a case for the legs at all.
I think his pecs are like popping out of his armor right here. It's like he has cleavage. So, I mean, honestly, some guys consider, I mean, look, this is Trunks second grade right here. I mean, look how much, well, let's go back. I clicked some spam picture.
When you're done, by the way, we have more questions.
Okay. I mean, look at how much fucking bigger he is, right? Look at this. He's fucking huge. I mean, look at the figure of Trunks is not that big. Okay, let's go back. Okay, yeah, this is nothing compared to this. You know what? Let's look for Trunks. I'm sorry, man. I mean, I think he is way bigger. He is way bigger. I mean, especially this picture right here. Wow, look at that. Look at that. Rick Dom, tell me, what do you think?
I don't even think this was ever in discussion. Anyone who's reaching and saying that these are second grade is really wanting to convince themselves.
Yeah, there is actually an apology I need to make. Earlier on, someone asked me before that if the second in New York Comic Con they showed, this is actually nothing to do with this, but now that we're on it, I kept meaning to apologize about this. Now that this figure has been released, we do realize he does not come with the second grade head. But they had the second grade head on display at New York Comic Con, and this is it right here. This is the second grade head. I do apologize to anyone I told he was coming up. Someone actually told me at the show that he was going to come with it. So I was basically just relaying the message. I have inquired about it before, and they basically just told me, quote, we are still trying to figure out what to do with it. So maybe we might actually get a second grade. I mean, right here, he's pretty buff looking. Maybe he could be second grade right here, I guess, to some degree. But that's because I think he looks bigger because he's standing next to the old one. Anyways, but yeah, this second grade head, they are apparently still trying to figure out what to do with it. So I asked, again, Bandai never loves to promise anything. They never love to get absolute answers. It's a good thing that they don't, because then the shit would be leaked, not necessarily by me, but by other people. So yeah, I do apologize to everyone who I did tell that the second grade head did come with the figure. Again, I was just relaying what someone told Representative, I believe Adam, actually. I don't want to make Adam look bad, but I don't think he actually knew either. So,
or he was probably it was. I don't even think that it's not that he didn't know. I think that at the time it was probably true. Things change.
Yeah. So they are still trying to figure out what to do with it. I am sorry to anyone I might have given the wrong information to. So, anyways,
all right.
Normal programming. That, like I said, I guess the moral of the story is, just buy if you feel like you got to have both. Just buy both. I mean, the premium colors Vegeta right now is not expensive. It's cheap. You can get it really cheap. In fact, some idiot I saw online sold his for $30 shipped the other day. Ha ha! I'm joking. That's our friend Johnny, by the way. But I mean, you can get them for probably less than $40 shipped. So, it's not an expensive figure. And obviously, Rick Daum shares the opinion that it really just depends on you. But honestly, I think definitely the new one is better in every way, and that's the figure you should buy. That's the one you should wait for. Worth waiting for. So.
All right. So, the Nana here asks, what are our thoughts on the rising prices of Figma? I've been buying Figmas for a few years now, and lately I feel as if the prices are getting a little up there. That's without the declining dollar to yen ratio.
That's a good question. The thing about pricing, a lot of stuff has been going up in price recently. Everything has been going up in price, and Figma, we've discussed,
play arts, figure arts,
yeah. Play arts, SH figure arts, everything has been going up in price. But some Figmas have definitely been reaching in price, especially, like I said, those Metal Gear ones. We've talked about it before, Snake and Grokovich Soldier. Both of those are 8,000 yen figures. They're pretty expensive when you consider what they are. So yeah, they are pretty expensive. And I think a lot of it has just to do with whatever the licenses is, because sometimes it's not really consistent. I mean, there's other figures that come out and they're not as expensive, but then, like I said, those grow cold.
Yeah, and they have even more, or they're bigger, and they're just not as expensive. So
yeah. So like I said, everything goes up in price. You would just hope that ultimately it doesn't get to the point where they price themselves out of the market. A lot of people feel Play Arts Kai has priced themselves out of the market. Hard to say, that's an opinion of many people.
Good friend of ours, of you and I, Anthony's Customs, has recently. It seems like he's very well known for doing a fair amount of Play Arts Kai reviews, and it's definitely looking like he's just gonna stop buying. He's not been very happy with anything they've been putting out. I mean, I think, before it was very easy to excuse, little mistakes or little gripes that you would have. But now with the price that they're charging, I think it's getting really hard for people like Anthony and other collectors to excuse little problems that these figures may be having.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Like I said, I mean, it's not something that any of us ignore. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of Final Fantasy, and and like I said, I buy the Play Arts Kai figures. I mean, mostly again, they are pretty expensive, so pretty much I've ultimately when I do I mostly just do Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy. So at this point, that's pretty much what it is for me. But I do know, I do understand, a lot of the price is pretty high, and it's definitely something that when you get to a point where you're approaching what people feel like is kind of the hot toys area, even though they're not as expensive as hot toys. I mean, hot toys are pretty much in the $200-something range, while PlayArts Kai is in the early hundred, below 150, but in the kind of like 120, 130. But hey, you go on fucking Ami or places like that, you can actually still get the PlayArts Kai figures for like under $100 before shipping. So honestly, that's probably the way to go if you love PlayArts Kai. Yeah, definitely when the flaws are there, you definitely feel like it's not as worth it. And for the Figma line, there's the quality control for Figma is very good. That's always one of the strengths of the Figma line in general, and just Good Smile and Max Factory stuff in general. I consider that they have a pretty decently high, their strictness of QC is definitely up there compared to Bandai or Square Enix and stuff like that. I generally see less wrong with Figmas than I do with SH Figure Arts or PlayArts Kai, generally speaking. So I mean, maybe the price might be justified because they do have a pretty strict QC, but definitely the price is definitely getting higher. I keep saying definitely, but and again, no one likes the prices to get higher, and I think eventually it should balance out. Again, it's mostly those few ones. Maybe it's the ones that you guys care about the most. Your Grokovic Soldier, your Solid Snakes, your some people. I think Leonidas was pretty expensive too. I don't remember. He was somewhere around that 7,000, 8,000 yen range as well. So, yes. But I mean, let's look at some of the other Figmas, recent Figmas, and we can break this down right now. Kind of just look. I mean, look at this Angela Balzac. I mean, she's a pretty decently loaded figure. She comes with a decent amount of stuff, and she's only 6,800 yen. I mean, she's actually not a terrible price. I guess I mean she's definitely more in that range. I guess if you're looking at it, at the fact that I guess okay, Kenzo is pretty expensive. Yeah, Kenzo's 8,640 yen. Okay, that's a new record. He's more expensive than Solid Snake.
And and it's all we talked about this last week, or not last week, but the week before last. The Revoltech is going up in price like crazy too with random figures. That base.
This EMIYA Shiro, he's only 5,800 yen. I'm looking at the full price. I'm not looking at the discounted price. Just looking at the full price. He's 5,800 yen. It's not that bad actually. And then you look at Izaya. See, it seems like certain licenses. It looks like the licenses, which I guess they don't have to pay a ton for because they have such great relationship with these anime studios. Like this Durara Izaya, he's only 6,300 yen. I mean, that means like, right here he's actually like before shipping. Right here he's only like $45 before shipping. I mean, that's actually pretty decent. That's not bad. Of course, like I said, I mean, if you look at like this Kenzo right here, I mean, this guy, he's right the most expensive. I'm pretty sure, yeah, he's 8,640 yen. He's on another level. I definitely will give you that. He's definitely pretty expensive. But what were you saying, Rico?
I was saying, dude, look at even I'm sorry, I have to comment on this before I say what I was gonna say. Look at fucking Sherlock Hound. This son of a bitch comes with a car, and he's cheaper than that detective guy. It's ridiculous. This is a fucking car.
Actually, his retail price is more expensive than than Kenzo. He's 9,504 yen before the discount. But he comes with a car. So
he comes with a car.
He comes with a car. He comes with a vehicle. He's essentially comes with an EX ride. I mean, this is a full-on vehicle right here. Small vehicle, but he comes with a vehicle. So.
Yeah, as I was saying, it's all across the board, man. Revoltech, we talked about it too the last episode with that one baseball player. That thing is like almost 8,000 yen. Ridiculous. It's just like you said. Sometimes it's just the licenses. Like you get to your schoolgirl figures. Man, those things are always like 4,900 yen. But you get to look.
I think a lot of it is just the fact that with the anime stuff, I think it's just simply, well, actually. Snake is 7,800 yen, and Guru Coverage Soldier is 8,200. He's actually more expensive than Snake. And this Kenzo, wow, Kenzo's on another level. Kenzo is almost 9,000 yen. And again, like I said, you notice the trend in all of these is that all these things that we're talking about right now, they're all not, they're not anime licenses. So I think the anime licenses, they have a great relationship with all these anime studios and stuff. And yeah, I mean, look at this Tomoyo right here. Tomoyo, she's from Card Captor Sergeant, only 5,800 yen, and then she's 20% off, and then she becomes only 4,590 yen, which makes her only maybe like $41 before shipping. So, I mean, when you look at that, I mean, it's actually not that bad. I look at this Ninja Slayer right here, right? I consider it a pretty bulky, big figure. Comes with a decent amount of stuff. And okay, he's 7,344 yen, but look how buff he is, and he's a pretty big figure. So I mean, honestly, he's gonna more than likely be like 7 inches tall. Yeah, I mean, he's gonna have some. I mean, maybe he's not gonna be 7 inches tall, but he's gonna be. He's a decent size. I mean, look at how thick. He's a thick looking figure. I mean, he's definitely more substantial than Kenzo here. So Kenzo. He's a middle-aged. It's not even like you could say, like, oh man, he comes. This is not even a full-scale diorama right here. I mean, this is just the backing of his box, the insert. So it's not even as if you could say, like, oh, dude, but at least he comes with a bunch of accessories, because he does. Yeah, look at Kenzo, getting down on right here. So kick this bitch. So yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it is just the licenses. I mean, that's definitely what it is. So. Yeah. I mean, it comes with that awesome briefcase with 100 million yen, from that famous scene. It was a very famous drama in Japan from the old days. And look at these. These are super cheap. These have no. See, I think this pretty much answers it right here. This figure is a pretty nice figure. It comes with a decent amount. Granted, it's a simple paint job, but he has a decent amount of articulation. But look how the price. His original price is only 4,298 yen. I think that has a lot to do with the fact that just answers the question. It's all licensing. This thing requires no license. Look how cheap it is. So I think that's really what it comes down to. I mean, look at the Venus de Milo. Venus de Milo is the same 4,800 yen, and Venus de Milo comes with it's a pretty decent figure and everything, and it's I think it's the licenses. I think a lot of this is just all licensing, in my opinion. I really think that's what it is. I mean, look at this Asuna. Granted, Asuna's on clearance right now. She's 38% off, but her original price is only 6,000 yen, and she has the wings and everything. She has a couple of weapons and decent amount of accessories. I mean, she's the Love Live, those are all reasonably priced too, 5,800 yen. So, I mean, final thoughts on this, Rick? No, I think we answered the question. Really, just comes down to licensing. It's definitely come down to the licensing. Yeah. Prices are going up in general, but it definitely seems like the licensing is just where it's getting the hardest. At least with stuff like Figma, Revoltech, SHF. With Play Arts Kai, I can't speak for them. They're going pretty ridiculous. Yep. All right. So. What's the next question? From the same asker. So since you guys mentioned Berserker from Fate, do you guys think we could get a Berserker in the Figma line? Since they have also shown that they can do much bigger characters in the Figma line, like Hulk. What do you think? Berserker is bigger than Hulk. At least the Hulk that we have in that Figma line. But that's not to say that they'll probably make him a little smaller. They always make him a little smaller. I mean, Hulk is I think he's actually should be a little bit bigger than the Figma one, but I think it's a possibility. Obviously, they haven't done Ilya yet either. I mean, there'll be the perfect chance to do Ilya and Berserker together. It's not and it's not like it won't sell, because I definitely think it will sell. The fans of Fate are very, very hardcore, especially like myself included, and even Rick Dom. Definitely, it's a thing. Any figures they come out with, I would definitely buy. And I don't think we're alone. We definitely have a ton of people who would definitely buy these figures, and there's definitely a huge audience for them. So really, I think yeah, we definitely should get them. We definitely should get a Berserker, and I definitely think it's a possibility at some point. Again, I think it's something that they probably wouldn't mind doing one day, but I don't think it would. I would think, and again, they never can stress this enough. I know we always say everyone must be tired of saying it, but I think it really will come down. You guys go in there and say, hey, you know what? We need to see, you know, Berserker. We need to start seeing the other servants and, you know, masters. You know, we'd love to see figures of those characters. And, you know, I mean, we still, you know, I would love to get, I mean, they did this 2.0 Shiro, but this Shiro is definitely not even the definitive version. I mean, technically speaking, the definitive version Shiro is still a pretty expensive figure. And I really think that there'd be a great time to do another Shiro with the jersey,
Yeah.
you know, the new design.
with the jersey jacket, yeah.
Or if anything, if they don't want to do the jersey version, they just do a updated version of the previous one they did. Would be cool too. You know, with this head sculpt's a lot better. I mean, this is a better figure than the previous one, of course. But this is not the definitive version of him, and I would love to get a definitive version. Same with Rin. She doesn't have a red blouse. Red blouse, Rin is the one to do. But you know, school uniform one's awesome as well. That's not to say that we, you know, shouldn't have it. I mean, the more we have is always better. But definitely, I would love to see more. I love to see more characters, more stuff done for the figures. For some strange reason, it's almost kind of like Max Factory knows that we, you know, Fate fans are very loyal and, you know, very dedicated, and they just, you know, no rush to popping this stuff out. It's not like a time thing necessarily all the time for them. They just kind of pop it out whenever they feel like it. Although these ones were kind of situational with Unlimited Blade Works anime, so, you know, maybe during Heaven's Feel, where we have some pretty cool scenes with Berserker. We have, you know, Sakura is very prominent in Heaven's Feel because she's the main heroine. We should probably get, you know, more figures. We'll probably get a Saber Alter 2.0, you know. So, yeah. That definitely think that answering your question, yeah, I think that we should, and I think it is a possibility to get it, especially, as I said, and it definitely would help if we definitely make it our voices heard. Maybe in the next interview with Mamitan, I can pass over all the, you know, love from you guys, and, you know, like I said, I'll go on, make sure to go on the Good Smile Facebook page, onto Twitter, and hound them about it.
Yeah, annoy them, because that's how they know, you know.
How they know, yeah.
All right, next question comes from our good friend Mr. The Johnnies, who says, who do you think the next musical artists will be done in figure arts form?
That's a good question. I don't think there's really a set thing to it. They seem to just kind of do whatever they want to do.
Yeah, I mean, when we
really could just be anybody.
When we took the poll in SDCC, it was a very varied list. Like, it wasn't as if the list leaned towards something else or anything like that. The list, you know, had Blues Brothers. It had Elvis. It had the Beatles, obviously. They had the Beatles.
The Beatles would be a good one to do. The Beatles are popular everywhere, so. You know.
It had Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix, yeah,
yeah, I'm almost certain there was Prince. I'm almost
Prince and Kiss were on there too.
Yeah, Kiss was there. So, you know, there is no formula. You know, it's just
there's no formula. They're not like going after a certain kind of music or anything. They're just kind of doing whatever I think they think is good at the time.
If you're asking me what figures I would want to see, they would all be rappers. You know, I pretty much got my dream so far with Freddie Mercury. I want other versions of Freddie still, but you know, Freddie is one of those ones that you want. You know, we already have Michael. Yeah, I hope. I hope for, you know, seems very unlikely, but, you know, rappers would be great. You know, with 50 Cent, you know. A 50 Cent, a Tupac.
I kind of feel like those are more unlikely, but, you know, you never know. You never know. It doesn't look like that's the direction they're going for, but, you know.
Oh yeah. That's true, Dane. That is true. They had NWA as well. They had NWA. So they did have rappers, yeah, but they didn't have the ones that I mentioned. You know, maybe they will this year. Who knows? You know, maybe they will. You know,
I
another
know it's one of those things that if you make it well known enough, it could be a possibility.
people, you know, it's just at the end of the day, you know, no mean to insult, you know, but you guys have so much more power than you guys don't even understand. You know, we talk to these guys all the time, and you know, they tell us all the time that, you know, you guys just aren't vocal enough. If you bitch, if you complain, and you get as many people as possible to tell these people on their Facebook, on their Twitter, on their Instagram that you want these figures, you're gonna get it. You just have to say something. You can't just go in your Slash Toy or whatever toy group you have on Facebook and complain that you want to see this figure. You got to go complain to these guys. You got to be in their face and let them know it's what you want. And you know, more often than not, they do it. They listen to you and they do it.
Yeah, I think Eminem was on there actually.
Yeah, Eminem. Yeah, I think Eminem was on there too. Yeah,
It makes sense.
There was no 50. There was no 50 and no Tupac though. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
So, you know, we'll see how the list is looking this year at Comic-Con. I know someone in one of the groups, I don't remember who, maybe it was David Walton, it was somebody, brought up doing the likelihood of them doing NBA figures. That would be awesome, you know, but I don't see anything pointing in that direction. I don't think it's a cheap license for people to get. Oh yeah, there goes the Guardino set off. You looking for the Rebel Tech?
Yeah, I'm looking for those pictures. They should be on here somewhere. I just wanted to pull it up for reference because obviously there was a question about it. So, as for Wendell, actually, someone asked, the new Revoltech line is taking first, showing off the Guardino Serra figures. Union Creative Kyoto will eventually, you know, release them. Most of the time when they do show something, they usually come out with it. There have been times, of course, you know, stuff never came out, but considering no one else is really doing them, I do think that eventually we should see them pretty soon. So doesn't look like there's any pictures on it. I'm surprised no one uploaded them here. It's kind of odd.
You know, one thing I do wonder about Union Creative, you know, Vulcanlock, you know, the Revoltech, I don't understand why you've released Woody and Buzz so many fucking times and you've not released probably your most expensive figure from the same line. I don't get it. You know, Wally goes for insane amounts of money. Wally can go anywhere from $150 to $250, and that thing is like 2 inches tall. I don't quite understand why that figure hasn't been re-released. I have mine, so it's not. I don't need one. I have one. I bought it when it first came out, but you know, I'm just, you know, I do wonder. You know, what's the deal? You know, why have you not? You re-release stuff all the time. You know, quote unquote legacy.
Well, the Woody kind of makes sense because of the whole meme thing. I think
Wally is huge in the toy pictures as well. It's proper party.
Oh, they never reissue Wally? I don't follow. I don't buy any.
Never reissued Wally
figures. So
I would like a second one. I mean, but I do wonder. I do wonder why. It's really popular in toy pictures. Everybody fucking wants it.
I never knew it wasn't reissued. I always just thought that, you know, popular ones like that always got reissued. But like I said, I don't collect them myself, so.
Yeah, never reissued, and I don't get why.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, maybe you know, we'll get a chance to ask Union Creative that question. You can ask them. I mean, they haven't reissued those other Woody and the Space Guy in a while, right?
Oh, dude, those things come out like once or twice a year.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
But you don't make sense.
They really should reissue. A lot of people ask me. The popular thing that they should reissue are the skeletons.
Yeah, the skeletons as well.
They've reissued them before, but they haven't reissued them in a while.
Yeah, I mean, just looking up right now, you know, this Wally, it's so crazy. You know, sometimes it sells for $130. At one point, it sold for $284. You know, $188 plus 20 shipping. You know, the price goes crazy sometimes for this figure, and I don't really understand why they don't reissue it, especially considering it's such a cheap figure. I think retail was like 20-something bucks because it's so small. You know, hopefully.
I'm surprised. I mean, Kyoto did do the Legacy of Revoltech line, and I mean, although it seems like that line mostly, well, no, and we'll focus on all of Revoltex, but maybe it'll pop up in there at some point. I mean, is it still going? I think it's still going.
I believe so.
Yeah. Let's look it up.
This of the North Star is always strong with the Legacy.
You know what? Don't even get me started on the. I see it. Buzz Lightyear is available. Yeah, but the Hulk no Ken Fist of the North Star, that line, that Revoltech line, I don't know what it is. It's put it this way. That line is pretty deep. They did a lot of characters they never done before as an action figure. But then they did something. They didn't do characters that they should have done. It just, I don't know what it is about Kyoto. I've asked this question to them many times, and they just always just give me the shrug. And they always say that, oh, we had plans, but it's never materialized into anything. But like perfect example, they did almost all the Nanto guys, but they never did Yuta. Yuta was the only one. He was the last one they had to do. They did the 5 of the 6 guys. They did 5 of them. 5 of the 6 guys never did the 6th one.
Yeah, it's like doing Team 7 and not making a Sakura. Like,
yeah,
what?
like ever. Which that's where we're at now. Actually, that's the situation we're in now. We have Naruto, we have Sasuke, and we have Kakashi. So yeah, yeah, don't even get me started on that. But it's possible. I mean, looks like there's quite a few stuff in Legacy of Revoltech line. Wow, there's like 2 whole fucking pages.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
A lot of figures. I was never really buying these because I already had all the original ones. But
they re-release often too.
So it's good to keep some of these figures on the market. But yeah, definitely some of these they should definitely release those ones like you said, like Wally and stuff like that. Maybe maybe it's coming. Maybe it's happening, or maybe it's a licensing thing. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can always ask, but I have a contact with a union creative, so I can always ask. Speaking of Kakashi, actually, there's something we forgot to cover. We'll cover
a gecko
that we didn't cover before.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that.
And because we were talking about Kakashi, I remembered. Doesn't look like they've shown it yet. This cool stuff. Let's just go to. If you guys have questions, keep asking them. We'll get back to questions in a second after we talk a little bit about this. You still there?
Who?
Oh, okay. Just making sure. Got really silent for a second. So I thought that we got cut off or something.
Oh no, you were looking up something, so I was just.
Yeah. So Gecko has revealed something that a lot of fans have been waiting for. They showed a teaser for the 1/6 scale Kakashi statue, which is a prototype they've actually released a while. They've had for a while. The first figure was Naruto, which they actually released a couple of years ago. And a lot of people, it's such an incredible figure. It's one of the best Naruto scale figures. 1/6 scale, larger scale than normal, what the Mega House stuff normally is. And this is a really great figure, the Naruto. And they had a Kakashi prototype as well, but they never actually released it until now. Well, they never actually planned to release it until now. It looks like I actually spoke with my contact at Gecko, and he told me that if this figure does well, they're planning to do other characters like Sasuke.
Our good friend at the Geckos.
Yeah, so definitely it's a really great figure. It says there's further information coming on June 1st. From what I understand, there's an LED light in the Chidori effect right here, so it's really incredible. I mean, it is a teaser, so it's kind of shaded, it's kind of taken in the dark, but this is an incredible sculpt of Kakashi. And definitely a figure that I have to own. Hoping, maybe we'll get the, details and the prototype at SDCC.
And we have another question from Mr. The Johnnies. He says, what Western property would you want to see licensed in Japan for figures?
Huh. All right.
I guess like a personal. That's a good question.
What do you think?
I never really thought that hard about it.
Oh, well, off the top of my head, number one, and I can tell you the company I'd want to see it from, would probably be to get Game of Thrones figures done by Kyoto. You know, get Yamaguchi to do.
You want Yamaguchi to do it? I don't know, man.
I love really stylized shit. You know.
You want Yamaguchi? I mean, you want Yamaguchi of Game of Thrones would end up looking like these figures, like these ones.
I'll take that 1,000%.
Right here.
Well, just anyone in the building of Kyoto to do it, I'd be happy with.
I think Matsura Ken would be a good match for Game of Thrones. I mean, they'd be stylized still, but you know, this is Ken Matsura. He did a lot of the Hokuto no Ken stuff. This is the North Star, and his style might work well. I don't know though. I don't know about Yamaguchi doing Game of Thrones.
Hey man, I'm a Reveltech stan. I don't give a shit.
If you were to ask me for Game of Thrones, I'd actually sad to say I think the best company to do would probably be Bandai. If anything, only because they have the digital coloring. Anything that's I honestly think now that we're in this new phase of Tamashii Nations where they have the digital coloring and the digital scanning for the face, for the sculpt, and then they add the digital coloring on top of it. I really think that they pretty much have figured out the mass production way to get the kind of pseudo-realistic looking human likeness on a 1/12 scale figure. I would think that if you want TV show versions of those characters, I think that's probably the best way to go.
I'm not a person that puts likeness that high up. I don't expect that from that scale. You know, if I can,
I get you. I agree, and I don't think anyone really should, but they are, you know, definitely changing the game in that sense. Don't get me wrong, this Kenzo right here, likeness is also very good, and this obviously I don't believe there's no digital coloring on this Kenzo sculpt at all, and it's actually.
I mean, you know, from anyone that's been collecting the Bandai stuff, you know, you have your fucking Obi-Wan.
I mean, this Kenzo sculpt looks really good.
You have your Bruce Lee. It's fucking crazy, the likeness.
Yeah, this Kenzo sculpt looks really good, actually, for 1/12 scale. I mean, it looks kind of like one of those old school, like, 70s movie posters. That's what it looks like. I don't know if it looks exactly like photorealistic. Like, you know, I mean, even the Bandai stuff, it's hard to argue that looks photorealistic, at least when you compare to something like Hot Toys. But, it's pretty good. I mean, like I said, Kyoto would probably do something interesting with Game of Thrones.
You know what? You know, it's really funny that you say that. I don't know how to pronounce the name. I think Nano here. It's really funny you say that because I was just about to say that Game of Thrones was live action, but as far as what animated I would want made by a company, I would love Figma to do anything Avatar related. You know. 1,000,000 times over, you know, anything Korra, Last Airbender, I want it so badly from Figma.
You guys can tell he's a big fan.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that I said, you know, one animated, one realistic property, and that would definitely be it, man. Avatar, The Last Airbender, or Legend of Korra. You know, I fucking take those any day of the week. I'll buy multiples.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything. I guess I must not really be that big into any American stuff outside of the superhero stuff. Because I'm thinking about it, I can't really think of anything, actually, that comes to mind for me. Yeah, nothing comes to mind right now for me, actually. Kind of sad thinking about it. Yeah, I really can't think of anything. I actually feel a little bit sad. Yeah, nothing comes to mind. A Western license that I would want. I guess I must really not be that big into. Like I said, all the best Western stuff that I want, mostly it's already been kind of done in the Hot Toys.
You know, I think the one thing that EMIYA here is
already has stuff. What?
EMIYA, off the top of my head, I already know that he would desperately want Figma versions of his favorite TV show of all time, Zane's The Jump Off.
Zane's The Jump Off.
Zane's The Jump Off.
Well, do we have any more questions?
Let me check. I think that's it.
That's it? Okay, well, anyway,
Oh, no. He asked another question. What about, he wanted to extend it a little bit. What about video game?
Video game franchise, okay. I would love to see The Last of Us action figures. I love that game, so The Last of Us would be cool. For a US game, anyway. I'd love to see action figures for The Last of Us. As for who would do them, I'd love to see Gecko. If they did action figures, I would love to see them do The Last of Us. I think their sculpting style matches The Last of Us very well. What do you think, Rick, though? Do you ever see The Last of Us?
That would be great. That would be really...
They don't do action figures, but if I wanted the... Because I'm thinking about SHF, I'm thinking about Figma, Revoltech. I don't know. I can't really see a great perfect match, but I keep thinking if Gecko did, I mean, it could be a scale figure too, but just to say action figures, because that's what obviously the primary interest of our audience is. The Last of Us would be something that's what I would want to see. Oh yeah, and The Last of Us. Oh yeah, Mr. the Donkey Wonky.
No, I think as cliche and as much as we already have it, I'm a person of nostalgia when it comes to gaming, as I'm sure my friend EMIYA here knows. I don't have a single game, I think, other than one in particular that I want figures for. Just because I like companies, like I fucking want, which we already have. I want a bunch of Nintendo shit. You know, I want like a best of PlayStation 2 era figures. I would love that kind of shit. You know, I'm not really a one game person, but you know, as much as we have figures from it right now, we actually have never had, you know, 1/12 scale trainers from Pokemon, and I would love Pokemon video game figures, not anime. You know, I don't want a fucking Brock or Misty or Ash. You know, I want video game character figures. I'll take that. You know, obviously you give me a Brock, a Misty, or an Ash, I'm gonna buy it. But you know, I would prefer to have the video game versions of the main characters, and I'd buy the hell out of that. It's the only game I can.
That's not an American license, though. Your Pokemon.
Oh yeah, it's not American. Oh, yeah. I don't think I have anything for American other than maybe I would love a I don't know, maybe Revoltech. I don't know who would do it best. Probably I would want
for what? For Pokemon?
No. I'm going American now. I completely forgot about going American. I took that out of my mind at the moment. But if I'm going, you know, American, I think what I would want, and I'm sure my friend Johnny would love it too, is I guess it would be Revoltech. I can't think of who else. Maybe KO would come up with someone, but I would love Grand Theft Auto figures, from 3 and up. You know, get a Fido, you know, an 8-ball.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything else. Last of Us is something I like that. I love that game a lot. For another American game, I can't think of anything else. I can't think of any other American game I really like. That's kind of sad. I like Uncharted too, but Uncharted it would be cool.
But you know, you kind of, I don't know what it is about Uncharted, but you always have a feeling that something's gonna come.
Yeah. I mean, maybe not from a Japanese company, but
no, maybe not from a Japanese.
EA is doing that one action figure. Looks pretty decent. So, anyway, do you have any other questions?
I think there's a new viewer down there who said he just found out that we were live. If you guys have any more questions, make sure to ask away. I think EMIYA was going to talk about whatever it is you wanted to, and then we'll go look back at the questions, I guess.
Yeah, ask any question about any Japanese toy that you want to ask. Oh, Japanese made toy. It could be American characters, also made by a Japanese company. We can talk about it here. Anyways, earlier there are now more pictures of the Takeshi Hongo. As you can see, it's a pretty good likeness.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah, it's done really well. Looks really good. He's got that 70s style hair. He's got the good likeness, good in the henshin pose. He's got his bell bottoms. Man, this guy is all 70s, all Showa era. And reading the description right here, basically it's saying that basically it's a wireless like LED light that you put in like wherever you want, and it will just turn on without the need of wires. So it emits a signal that you can turn on the light. That's why it's called Stage Act Wireless.
Wow.
Yeah. And it looks like this Stage Act Wireless version is specifically for Kamen Rider Black. So this Kamen Rider Black, which we're all unfortunately going to have to buy again now. He was just reissued. I just bought another one, actually. So we're going to have a new Kamen Rider Black that has the this Tamashi stage, this setup right here, which obviously acts as some kind of remote control that will turn on the LED. You can have an LED light in his head. So yeah, I mean, it's looking pretty awesome. Definitely something for the fans of Kamen Rider Black like myself. This is a must-have. Yeah, you can see it lights up. Stage Act Wireless is an LED light, that you put in, and it basically emits a signal which turns the LED light on. That's why it's Stage Act Wireless, so you don't have to have any wires to turn the light on his head.
That's sick, man.
Yeah. Wish they figured that out sooner.
Oh my god, yeah, if only.
So, but definitely. Do we have any more questions?
Yeah, we have some right now. Figure Arts TMNT, why no one has addressed the issue that they are too big? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't think they're too big at all.
No, they're pretty big. They're actually pretty big figures. They're
what are they supposed?
They're not 1/12 scale. That's what you're asking.
But what are they supposed to be in scale with? Is the problem with me wondering why anything would be too tall? There's nothing. I don't think there's anything supposed to be in scale with. The Ninja Turtles were always big as shit. I don't know if you ever seen the cartoon, KO.
Mm-hmm.
They're big. They're big. They're bigger than humans.
Oh, okay.
They're not like just because they say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles doesn't mean they're children.
I get you.
They're big, and I think there's no scale you really need to go off of. I mean, I guess if you want them smaller, then that's your personal thing. That's just how you want it. But I don't think they need to be smaller just because there's no. What are they supposed to scale with? I'm sure that I'm honestly I think they're probably going to scale with Legends if you wanted to do that. I know that's everybody wants to scale something with Legends. There you go with that.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what it is, I guess. I have no interest in Turtles, so I can't really say that's what people want per se. But I'm guessing everyone wants the stuff to scale with Marvel Legends and stuff like that. I guess that's what they're into. So.
He goes on to say that if they make an April, she'll be smaller than the Turtles, and Shredder in the same height, and no one talks about it. It'll end up ugly like oversized Pikachu. Man, I mean, yeah, it's going off the cartoon, but I mean, if they were really going off the cartoon, they really wouldn't extend much more than being hunched over. April is sometimes drawn just as tall as them, and sometimes April is drawn smaller. There's no consistency. It's just like Transformers, Sometimes Ironhide is the same height as Optimus, and sometimes he's like up to Optimus' waist.
Yeah.
I think that kind of stuff. I definitely see what you're saying, but that kind of seems like it's just more of how you want to see the characters, which is totally fine. But I think in general, for most people, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, and I'm almost assuming that's why nobody mentions it, because I don't think they're going to believe that that's that big of a deal to certain people. If it is to you, then show them that that's not what you like, and don't buy it.
Yeah, that's the best way. You don't like it, man. Just don't vote with your wallet.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't like it. You think it needs to be fixed. Tell them you don't like it, and it needs to be fixed, and don't buy it. That's the best way for you to get what you want out of what you're suggesting. You know. And another guy says Pikachu should have been smaller and packaged with an Ash figure. Totally, absolutely agree. I think Pikachu was only done that way just for Smash Brothers purposes. Nothing else really explains it. I mean, he comes with fists. You know, it doesn't make much sense. And the fists look just like the open palms. That figure's a mess. You know, what a terrible way to send off the line if that may be the end. You know, hopefully it isn't. Hopefully it isn't.
I mean, there's always hope, right? So.
Did you get those pictures that I sent you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, those are pretty.
We'll pull them up right now, actually.
A lot of people. There's no more questions, so you know a lot of people talking about that right now.
Apparently, there's a Tamashii special Tamashii stage green screen, easy green screen, do it yourself at home kind of thing, and it basically allows you to do green screen stuff. It's Tamashii Act Studio. As you can see right here, it's the green screen. That's the setup you have. It looks like you can, like, you know, this is how you do it. It tells the step of, you know, you downloading the app and everything. You know?
And then you basically Photoshop that background.
And you can Photoshop these backgrounds. Basically, you see right here, you put the figure on the green screen and you pretty much have, like, this realistic, awesome, instant Photoshop photography stuff right here, you know?
Next level shit.
So, yeah. It's pretty cool. It's probably going to be made available somehow, I'm sure. You just need a green screen set up, and it looks like you can buy it, and they're going to make it available somehow. That's one part right there. This one looks like it's actually kind of small, but then you have, like, this larger setup right here. This looks like it's at the show, so something they're obviously experimenting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyone have any more questions?
No, that's it.
All right. I guess since, you know, we're done, I think, yeah, actually our episode went on really long today. There's a lot of stuff going on. Like I said, there's still stuff being revealed as we speak. I'm sure we have not been able to cover everything yet, and we're not actually at the event ourselves, unfortunately. But, you know, maybe one day we can, you know, cover the event for you guys. At some point, it'll probably happen. You know, I've been to Tamashii features before, but it's been a little while. But yeah, I mean, we'll definitely cover some events for you guys, get some interviews, things like that, all the usual stuff.
Yeah.
More close-up pictures right here.
Comic-Con, you know, coming up. We'll make sure to get as many interviews as possible.
Yeah. As you guys can see right here, the effects in motion.
For Cyclone.
For Cyclone Joker. I mean, it looks pretty much perfect for Cyclone Joker. So, and yeah, I mean, there's more stuff being shown. Oh, right here. Neo Cyclone for the you know, the new Kamen Rider #1 from the new movie. They're doing he said more reviews as we're going on. Here's another review. They're doing his Cyclone. Neo Cyclone for Mr. Super Buff Games, you know, Kamen Rider #1.
Mr. Super Chubby Gains.
Yep. And, you know, if you're happen to be at Tamashii Features right now, which, you know, why the hell would you be on here? You know, you can actually take your picture with, you know, Jungle Rider as well. The
Jungle Rider.
The light version. You know, the real motorcycle version. You can see more pictures right here. Like I said, more stuff coming in right now, more news. So it's like we're just seeing more stuff. Another shot of the Ultraman display that, you know, we only saw a little bit of earlier. There's Zolfi. You can see. It looks really nice. Zeton. Effect. It looks really cool. Very retro looking, which is, you know, what the line is going for. So
very awesome.
Displays that they have at the show as well. All the Kamen Riders. series, like all the double, all the O's, you know. Yeah, very cool stuff. You know, the Pretty Cure, Bakuan, yeah. More Sailor Moon. Doesn't look like there's any new stuff though. There's all the Robot Damashi. Their report. You always have to have Great Mazinger and Mazinger shaking hands. Of course, Great Mazinger Kurogane finish coming out soon. Going up for order this month. At the end of the month, the Bandai drop. Toran Fam again. Bozune again.
That's EMIYA's favorite license. Favorite characters.
There's a Pat Labor, the Duran 2000 that we saw earlier. We didn't really get a nice picture of it until now. The Tyrant. Tyrant of 2000. It's not going to come with that base, I'm sure, but it's cool that they're doing it. Oh, Figure Art Zero, Macross Delta.
Oh, another one?
Yep, Keith. I guess he's the next one after Freya. Looks really nice.
Oh, yeah, looks good.
Like I said, more reveals. We're seeing more reveals as we go on. This is the character for the ladies, you know, right here.
All the ladies out there.
Yep. So, let's try to see if there's any new Saint Seiya they show. I think Saint Seiya we probably are covered. Oh, man. Senor Pink.
Senor Pink.
And the bitches. Oh, okay. Oh. Very cool. Yeah, so no real new reveals there. This is all, there's just a tour of Tamiya. Clicked on the wrong thing. And this is all the stuff to the SHF stuff. Yeah, Strike Interceptor, Monster Hunter Xenogre, like we talked about earlier.
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, these are pretty cool SHF figures. They're going to be coming out. They're obviously pushing. It's like something very comfortable for the Bandai. Bandai loves to do this type of stuff. So these armored characters.
Yeah. The armored characters.
More pictures of these guys. It looks like, yeah, for which. So like we are, you know, working through everything pretty much. So I mean, we're definitely getting more and more pictures of stuff. We've talked about this already.
Yep.
So yeah, it looks like we are. Goes on for a couple more days. Goes on through the weekend. That's how long it goes on. Yeah, then Nano here to ask how long does this Tamashi event go on for? It goes on for a few days. So I think we're on the first day now, and it's gonna go on through the weekend, and that'll be it. You can buy exclusives. I think it's like 2 or 3 days total usually. So I think they're gonna basically it's all at the over there. I don't think they'll have exclusives this year. I haven't seen crazy pictures. I think there were some exclusives, but whatever. But yeah, it is going on right now. It's basically their normal showroom. They got a lot of stuff going on, and most of the stuff. There's a ton of stuff that we actually don't see. There's always a ton of stuff being shown at the show. So I don't know when we're gonna see that stuff, but there's a lot of stuff being shown there that you can't take pictures of. That there's gonna be a lot of there's gonna be pictures that leak out over time, because there are people who do sneak pictures. You can never keep it all away, but it'll work. At some point, people will leak it out and people will see it, and people will talk about it, of course. So do we have any closing thoughts, Rick Dom?
Drugs are bad.
Anyways, if you do like our show, we will probably do another episode I guess not next week, but the week after. It's a bi-weekly show, so we'll be doing another show the week after next week. Again, we all always talk about this stuff, cover this stuff. Just if you are curious about the official height size chart. Oh, never mind. Oh, okay. I don't know what he's talking about. Is that with Ninja Turtles again?
Probably.
Oh, okay. But yeah, you can follow me. I'm StarLock on Instagram, and my friend Rick here is Cable2345 on Instagram. Please like our Facebook page, JPIA TV, the live on Facebook. You know, we post updates and stuff like that on there. Definitely come check us out. If you know, we probably post other funny things on there as well at some point. But yeah, do you have anything else you want to say, Rick?
No, a lot of cool stuff. Catch us this Sunday on the ACBA podcast.
Yeah, we'll be on the ACBA podcast talking about, you know, probably some of this stuff that we just talked about, and yeah, we'll probably be talking about some of it. But the next show will probably be on June 3rd. 2016. That's a Friday. We usually like to do Friday nights, but maybe we might change it. We'll make the announcement, of course. Thanks everyone for coming on. Yeah, I think we're good now. So until next time, guys, we will see you guys again very soon.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Good night. Good night.